Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 22 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series. As we're in the year 2021, and my God, it is redemption time. The best Super Junior, take two. It's our second time around. I mean, there's just no way it's going to be as worse as it was the first time around. We've got too much talent now. A year of booking has definitely paid off as well. But for this tournament, it's going to be the biggest round robin tournament we'll ever do, as far as of, I guess I should say, as of right now. This will be the biggest round robin tournament of not only just anything on TW 2020, besides actually the all time tag league episode, but that's the whole nother series. But that's okay. For this, the best of Super Juniors for 2021, our blocks look like this, and we are going to have 12 men in each block, blocks A and B. It's going to have, over 11-day tour of a round robin tournament where both blocks will be on one show. So that's going to be 12 matches each, because obviously it's going to be 6 and 6. Going to be some, there's going to be a lot of matches, a lot of content going on. But I think as far as having this group of guys here, it's a pretty fun list. So we'll go through the participants here. We'll go through the blocks. Is Block A, Alex Shelley, Caristico, just right there. That's a great block. Then you have Daniel Makabe as well, who's really coming along. El Desperado and El Fantasmo. John Silver, Dark Order. Flyer, as Flyer really, he's someone that's on the verge of becoming a guy, maybe, just as far as has a lot of talent. We'll see how he does in that best Super Juniors. He's in a tough block, though. It's in Kaji D'Amato and the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Pac, as the man who said he's going to win out every single match he is in, go on to win the best Super Juniors as the Junior Heavyweight Champion, and then maybe even potentially do something that no one's ever done, go into the G1 and become and win that. And so that would be quite a year for Pac. A very tall order. And hopefully he's not thinking ahead too much here, and he's just trying to take it on just as far as one day at a time. You got some great guys in there. Alex Shelley and Caristico right there. Two guys he's faced off before, but to have another rematches for those two guys specifically, going to be very, very tough. Plus, there's a lot of upset potential there, like Rocky Romero and Ryusuke Taguchi. Obviously, two men that have been a part of New Japan for quite a while now, and there's some very talented veterans still. And it's definitely people to not sleep on. And then to round up the Block A participants. As for Block B, Kira Francesco, Black Taurus, Bushi, Senta De Ora, Lee Moriarty would have been Jonathan Gresham. He's taken Gresham's spot because of the injury. Plus, he's now being the Junior Heavyweight Champion, too. It's a pretty big deal. As obviously the champs, they get to, luckily enough, don't have to face each other. They get to have split blocks. Ray Phoenix, Robbie Eagles, Ryu Lee, Samurai Del Sol, Sho, Taiji Shimoi, and Valdo Jr. As obviously Block A, when you have, the amount of Junior Heavyweight Champions you have, as far as Pac and Taguchi, but also, Rocky Romero, you're having a lot of great talent, and Shelley and Caristico, and even some upcoming talent like Makabe, Flyer, even John Silver's really done well, and Kaji D'Amato. You can't count out Kaji D'Amato. Despy and Phantasmo looking to one of those two maybe to climb up the rankings here and get some big wins. For Block B, though, you got some very talented guys, but maybe not on, like having Phoenix, obviously, Ryu Lee, Samurai Del Sol, a lot of great luchadors in this, and Valdo Jr. as far as the name value, being at 40 years old, definitely the oldest as far as people in this Best of Super Junior. So we'll see how he does. Black Taurus was someone that did very, very well in our first one. Same thing for Francesco, so we'll see what they do here. Bushi, of course, a man who's always just been on the cusp of greatness, and maybe this could be it. Maybe he can win his block and go on to the finals of the Best Super Junior and even win the Best Super Junior. Anything could happen. As, and Robbie Eagles, too. Very, very Samurai Del Sol, a man who definitely has the skills to do it as well. Got a lot of great guys. Sho made it to the finals last year. Of course, Ishimori, the man who won it all last year, is going, again, looking to, as far as name value, he's definitely probably the biggest name here, and he's the, I want to say, because I don't think Bushi was junior champ, But as far as, I'm pretty sure he's the only junior champion. Oh, no, Robbie Eagles was too. That's right. Actually, no, I think Eagles, well, in real life he is, but in this canon, he is not, because obviously it started before that happened. So in this canon, he's never been a junior heavyweight champion. So yeah, it's just Ryu Lee and Taiji Shimura as far as former junior champs. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome there. And as Ryu Lee, a guy who didn't even get selected last year. Probably should have. He probably could have won the whole goddamn thing with how that went. But yeah, this is going to be obviously a long tour. You know, adding the even more days as well. Obviously, it's going to be a 12-day tour. 12-day tour in total, as it's going to be 11 round robin tournament, block shows, and then you'll have the final one, which I have no idea what's going to be on that final show. Obviously we know that there's going to be the finals, but I have no idea about the rest of the card. We'll just kind of figure it out, to be honest, as we make our way through this, because we can't really build anything, because obviously, we're going to have a 12-match, show already, so I don't think adding any more undercard stuff is really necessary. So we'll probably do a lot of stuff on Strong, to be honest, and just kind of see how it goes, really, as we're already on the first day. We'll go ahead and get this thing rolling. They got some Korakuen for the first night. I think that's pretty fair. Kojima passing on microphone work to his protege Yado Tomura. And then Milano Collection AT and Yasutaku Yano as passing tips on using psychology to his protege Yasutaku Yano. Hell yeah. As for this first day here. So, it being day one, we'll want to have a Block A main event in Taguchi and Pac. Will definitely be a main event. I mean, that's a very big time main event. Pac's going to get the win. It's big time. As for Block B, Phoenix and Show seems to be a lot of fun, but also Taiji Shimura and Samurai del Sol would make a lot of sense there. As Ishimori is going to beat Samurai del Sol. That's a big time win for Taiji Shimori. And then for the rest, we have Liberty United teammates of Shelly and Kaiji D'Amato. That could be a lot of fun. Phoenix and Show. I think I'm going to go with Phoenix and Show. As Show's going to beat Ray Phoenix. What an upset there. Going to keep Phoenix strong. As a Phoenix, I mean, a guy who was in that last year's tournament was affiliated with AEW still back then, and now he's obviously exclusive written talent. You'd expect some big things from him in that block as well. I really like that Francesco Riley match, but I don't think it's going to go very well at the same time. But I really want to do it, because that's a fun... Curistico El Desperado, that's a fun match. Very different type of styles, but at the same time, the very core values are the same. I have this set for Steal the Show. Curistico's going to get the win in 12. Then we'll do Francesco and Lee, which... this would be awesome if they ever did this in real life. Riley Lee's going to get the win there. And this is really going to be Shelly and Kaiji D'Amato, Liberty United versus Liberty United guys. Shelly's getting the win in 22 minutes. That's a lot of fun there. That should be a really good match. This is, when you're having to decide what's... I think the opener will be Phantasmo and Yell. I think that will be the opener. Actually, maybe Moriarty and Volador Jr. As we'll go with Bushi and Eagles. That's a really good match. Eagles are going to beat Bushi there. That's a big win for Robbie Eagles to start off the tournament. Yep. Bushi starting with this shit again. As I want to say... Bushi beat him last year in the Best Super Juniors. So that's fun. Getting that win back. Over a year. And then it's really good. I think Rocky and John Silver, that's a really good match. And Rocky's going to beat Silver, which has happened on Strong before. Rocky beat him last year in October. He's got a 53. This should do pretty well, though. It's going 16. Yeah, and then Fly... Actually, Cinta de Oro and Black Taurus. And Black Taurus, he was someone that, just to remind everyone, what it was looking like as far as going into last year's Best of Super Juniors. Hiromu, of course, was still a junior with Sho, as far as they were the top two guys of their block. And you had Despy, Francesco, Desmond, Xavier. Didn't get invited this time around. And Taguchi with 10, with Yo as well. But you see Black Taurus tied Ishimori with 14 and Phoenix with 12. And, that was when we had Bandito still. Gresham, of course, doesn't make it this year. interesting. Obviously, well, I thought about doing the young lions, but at the same time, it's like, let's better use an actual player. So, Black Taurus has had some success in the Best Super Junior. Didn't make it all the way, though. Didn't win his block. So maybe this year he's wanting to win Block B. And Venge's last year coming just short. As, we'll probably go Flyer, Makabe. Makabe's going to get the win. That actually could be a really good match. I'm a little nervous about pop-wise, but it looks like we're going to have to change as far as the time length of these shows. That makes sense. As Yo and Phantasmo. Yo's going to get the win over El Phantasmo, which they've never had a singles match. So that's fun. And then Lee Moriarty against Falador Jr. Of course, this is the first time meeting, as Moriarty will be beating Falador Jr. Going 16, though. Yeah, we're going to have this, technical masterclass for sure. And I think as far as Liger's given too much, a lot of guys are given far too much time. So that's a fun sign. I guess we could maybe look and see what's a match we could probably, just as far as Flyer given a little too much. Silver's being used too much. So it's Tomato. But Tomato's getting carried by Shelly. Francesco, he's kind of getting... Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be used too much. But they're kind of getting carried by good guys, too, at the same time. So, yeah, we'll just go back to changing the length of the show here to a 3-hour show. Wow, that still didn't do it. That's that's crazy. A 3-hour, 30-minute block show. So you're getting a lot of great guys, though. Getting 12 matches, as we got to change Liger. We'll keep him doing the main. We'll have Jado can do the co-main there. Still being badly overbooked. I'm assuming he's also with Phoenix and Show. Yep. As, yeah, well, of Kobayashi. Wow, still. That's crazy. Oh, didn't mean to hit that. So I guess Shelly and Tomato? Yep. And it's, yeah, we'll use... Actually, we'll use Jado again. There we go. So, first day, let's see what happens here. Yep, 34. Moriarty at least almost did a 50, though. Just, yeah, if there was going to be someone... Actually, probably should have given that less time, but it had to be a technical masterclass at the same time, so... Is what it is there. We're just going to have kind of shitty openers. Alright, 39, and they don't have enough pop. Zio gets the win in 10:43. Probably should have beat... Or, it was close. It was only a point difference. Could have won either way. There we go. Makabe, though, with a fucking 65, pulling out a 62 overall as far as the segment rating with him and Flyer. It's good stuff there. As Makabe, of course, Junior Heavyweight Champion, Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion with Lee Moriarty. So, United Empire looking strong the first night. We're going to add some finishers for half these guys. As Black Taurus with the Infernal Suplex over Senda They both did 57s. Could have won either way. Just no pop there. Would have been in the 50s, but that's okay. Black Taurus with 2 points. 60 for Rocky and Silver. It's Rocky with the Foreign Devil in 16-12. A 60 for Rocky Romero. 51 for John Silver. It's a fun match, though. Fun match there. 56 for Bushi and Eagles. As the Pulse drop for Robbie Eagles in 16-20. Yeah, I mean, obviously an upset. But, tough loss for Bushi, though. I want to start off the tournament with a loss. It's a 70 for Shelly and Kaji Damano. They have great chemistry. That's fun. As the Sheeran U for Alex Shelley in 21:45. So, boy, we still got a long ways to go. As far as we still got like 6 more matches left, I want to say. Maybe less than that. Maybe about 3 or 4. As Ryu Lee getting the win with a... And at 18:25 is Riley with a 56-49 for Francesco. Pretty close. Just, it's tough, man. That Block A, I mean, you got a lot of great guys. As, speaking of, you have Caristico with a 72. Getting the win with a La Mystica in 11:40 over Desperado. I mean, that's 30-point difference. Didn't have a prayer. El Desperado's a 65 for Phoenix and Show. Show with the Shock Arrow with the upset win over Ray Phoenix in 23-24. As Show, another guy, made it to the finals. Starts off strong again. Getting a big win over Ray Phoenix. That could definitely hinder Ray Phoenix as far as winning his block. As a 69 for Ishimori and Samurai del Sol. Taiji Ishimori with a bloody cross in 26:49. Big time win. A Samurai Del Sol with a 52. Oh boy, that is not good for the former junior tag champs and the Golden Dragons, but at the same time, though, what can you do? 79 main event, though, as Pac and Raisuke Taguchi as Pac gets win the 450 splash in 24:19. Starts off the tournament with a win and a big time show rating, too, with a 79. Think we're going to be just okay with this, tournament here. We'll be fine, especially with every Block A main event being Pac and Taguchi. Now, Block B is going to be interesting, because they did a 65. Wasn't terrible. Ishimori and Samurai Del Sol did a 69, though, at the same time. So, I mean, it should be okay. It's just not going to be on that level of Pac in his matches. But, I mean, really, nobody else is still at the same time. But, yeah, not a bad first day. So, as far as throughout the, after 4 days, we're going to be showing the standings here with these little graphics. Obviously, they'll be filled in. They won't be blank here, as that's just kind of what we're going to be doing. And then afterwards, basically, after day 4, we'll go through all the standings. After day 6, then day 8, and then basically 9, 10, and 11. So that's just kind of the idea. Alright, so I don't think we'll be in Corkin for this one. We'll probably change that. It's Kojima passing on tips on microphone work to out tomorrow, which they just teamed on the Strong taping, so that's fun. As they took on Zack Sabre Jr. and Corey Jarvis. As, let's see here. I don't know where we want to run exactly, but we'll probably figure something out. So yeah, probably, I mean, April will probably be a good idea. Luckily, we kind of been in a lot of places. The Sendai Sun Plaza, even though it won't be a full-on, sellout. But actually, we'll go with the... Yeah, we'll go into Sendai here for the 2,000 instead. That'd probably be for the best. As for day 2, we'll want to have a Block B main event. Probably Eagles and Ishimori. That's probably for the best there. But Phoenix and Moriarty is pretty awesome. I would love to see that, though, too. We'll probably go with Eagles and Ishimori, though. The Eagles are going to beat Ishimori, and another big upset there for Robbie Eagles, as and Ishimori beat Robbie Eagles last year, Best Super Juniors. I got a 54 last time. We'll see how it does here. That's a huge win, though. How about that? I mean, Block B is crazy. We got the upsets galore. Pac, Rocky is the co-main. This should be a really good match. We're going to give it a little bit more time than that, as give Pac the win. So we'll go ahead, because we pretty much know that this show's going to go, because I forgot to change this. We'll make it, we'll keep it 3 for now, just in case. Maybe, for instance, for some reason, it's, we won't need 3:30. Phoenix and Moriarty, I need to see it. Phoenix is going to get the win. It's only going to go 17 now. Which is, yeah, it is what it is, there. Samurai Del Sol and Show. Black Taurus and Ryu Lee, though, at the same time. That would be pretty awesome. As Ryu Lee's going to beat Black Taurus, though. We'll actually bump that ahead of Moriarty and Phoenix. Even though that will probably do better, Phoenix and Moriarty. Shelly and Yo. Just Shelly's the man. And he's going to get the win there over Yo. Caristico and Kaiju D'Amato again. Caristico, we know he's going to do awesome. Him and Kaiju D'Amato be a fun match, though. They're very different people as far as Kaiju D'Amato more technically based. Not really so much high flying. Obviously, Caristico, one of the best high flyers ever. Bushi and Seta de Ora would probably be pretty good, but yeah, we could go with this and then Samurai Del Sol and Show next, as Bushi's going to beat Seta de Ora, get that win. Samurai Del Ora, I want to say he started off 0-2, not a great start. Samurai Del Sol's going to beat Show after losing, and Show losing after beating Ray Phoenix. That's a tough one there. I'm assuming that's, because they had the tag match at the Road to Fantastica Mania, but they've never had a singles match. Oh boy, now we're, this bottom 4, Taguchi Flyer. Taguchi Flyer, that might actually be better than some of these matches we already had. We're going to have this steal the show as well, as Taguchi's going to beat Flyer. And then, Silver Phantasmo. Silver's going to get the win. And Francesco and Valdo Jr., which, I kind of want to, maybe high spots, just to do something a little different there. Then Makabe and Desperado, we're going to have this one be the Steal of the Show. Or not the Steal of the Show, the Technical Masterclass. Just because we know Makabe, I mean, he's going to do that pretty well. Oh, that was weird. There we go. Wow. By 3 minutes, we could cut some time off something. Sorry about this, Bushi and Sendadeora. Go to 12. Well, Caristico, Kajitamata go down to 11. There we go. And we're good to go. Too. Alright, just, a lot of people used a little far too much, but that's okay. It's the Black Doors and Ryu Lee match. Mainly as, it's 68. There you go. That's how you open up a show. As, got to show up to a strong start. Daniel Makabe's just killing it. Killing it. That's 2 straight wins for him. Volador Jr. with a grade 1 calf strain. That stuff is the Cure Assault in 1328. Volador Jr. As not, I mean, that's what happens when you're 40 years old and in a big-ass round robin tournament like this. Not gonna go your way. It's all Francesco who caused it. I mean, yeah, you're talking about, Volador Jr.'s got like 20-some years experience on just not only pro wrestling, but on this earth. Talk about because Francesco's 21, 22, something like that. Wow. Thought this would be enough, but John Silver with the Enziguri in 1221. They had a story building up to this, so that was a lot of fun to do this here on the Best of Super Junior. Not the greatest match, obviously, though. 51 for Flying Taguchi. Taguchi's not doing too hot there. It's Taguchi getting the win with the crossface chicken wing facebuster. Fucking Dodon is at 13.51. 59 for Del Sol and Show. There we go. Samurai Del Sol getting a little better there. It's 1958. Samurai Del Sol with the Rising Sun. 55 for Bushi and Sendadeora. Bushi was really off his game. Probably should have got the win. Shouldn't have got the win, but he had already lost the first night, so figured gotta give him the second win here. This win on the second night, rather, is Caristico beating Kaiju Tamana in 10:54. Doesn't even get the La Mystica, just a springboard arm drag. And that gets a 60. 65 for Shelley and Yell. Alex Shelley with the Border City stretch in 16:05. Nice win for Shelley. 2 straight wins for him as well. 4 points for Alex Shelley as Ray Phoenix dealing with the Meteora in 16:45 over Lee Moriarty. Can't get to the 50s, but pretty good effort, though, for Lee Moriarty. Fun match, though. I would love to see this, obviously, in real life in AEW. Probably be a dark match, though, sadly, but it'd be pretty awesome. Ryu Lee and Black Taurus. Another match that I would love to see, as Ryu Lee getting the win in 21:45. 2 straight wins for Ryu Lee. 77 for Pac and Rocky Romero. The fucking shooting star leg drop, though, for Pac. That's pretty awesome. Fun match, though. Fun match for Pac, and he keeps it going with 2 straight wins. In our main event, will be a 65. Figured so. Ishimori, though, with a 69. Pretty good in-ring performance. Just couldn't carry Robbie Eagles, who gets the upset win, though, with the Warp 4-5 in 23:43. See how the show did. Increased our pop somehow in 3 regions. I'll take it. As, yeah, I mean, we actually didn't have a bad match. You had some decent ones in Francesco and Volador Jr. and Silver and Fantasma, but really, other than that, everything was above a 50. Can't beat that. I'm very nervous about the even shows because of Block B being the main event, but as long as Ishimori and or Phoenix, or even Ryu Lee's in the main, should do pretty well. As, yeah, we're gonna, obviously, run through this as far as quick as we can, but so far, we've been moving pretty fast. It's on to day 3. They always gotta have us being Corkin as, backstage incident. Of course, it's Simon fucking Grimm. We need to get rid of him. He's making a mess backstage, not cleaning it up. That sounds a lot like, and just annoying everyone else in general. Yeah, that's about right. As he found him guilty, sends him to clean up, and then buy drinks for everyone after the show. Fucking, what a fuck. As, let's say, as far as where we should probably run, probably our, well, maybe not our best bet. But yeah, we'll just run the Hiroshima Sun Plaza. Sure, we'll be, not even close to sell out, but we fill some asses in seats at least, instead of having 690 fans. for this show, and it's going to be Pac and Phantasmo as the main event. Not great, but he's Pac, so he'll make the match work, and Pac's going to get the win there. 3 straight wins for that man. Volador Jr.'s calf strain's only going to hurt as far as restricting his rating. Only for this show, at least. He'll be back to full health by the time, should be at least. Yeah, definitely by the time that happens. So, we'll just go ahead and wait for that one. That'll probably be the opener. Ryu Lee and Bushi's probably the best bet for the... Even though, man, honestly, Ryu Lee and Bushi as a co-main, honestly, this should be the main. Shelly and Caristico. So what's going to happen is, towards the end of the match, La Mystica by Caristico, but he's not able to actually hit the submission, not lock it in. He does the tilt-a-whirl head scissors, lands it, then Shelly, though, rolls through Border City stretch, and Caristico has to tap out. Would be a pretty fun finish, I think. Just the way that in my head, the vision of it would be pretty fun. Caristico's a little upset that he's taking the fall, though. That makes sense. We'll keep him strong. But I think that's a better main event, personally. Even though the champ should probably go on last. Plus, it's going to be Pac, but that's just a much more even match, in my opinion. As I said that Deora, Taiji Ishimori, another pretty good match there. Ishimori's going to get the win. Senda Deora, I believe, hasn't won a match yet, which is not great. Not great at all. As far as Samurai del Sol, Lee Moriarty's pretty good. Rocky Romero and Flyer, too. Show and Eagles, we'll probably go Show and Eagles. Chaos versus Chaos, so Show's going to beat Robbie Eagles there. And Moriarty and Samurai del Sol. Del Sol's going to get the win in 18. As, yeah, this is tough. Yeah, probably Rocky and Flyer. Rocky's going to get the win in 12. Don't know if we have a Steal the Show match yet. As Francesco and Black Taurus. Taurus is going to get the win. Still not a Steal the Show match. Silver and Yo. John Sever's going to get the win. Kaji D'Amato, Daniel Makabe. This will be the Technical Masterclass. And Kaji D'Amato with the upset, beating Daniel Makabe. What a win. And that's Makabe's first loss of the tournament as well. Taguchi and Despy, which this should probably go a little higher. And Despy is going to beat Taguchi. What a win. Taguchi's pissed. That makes sense. And Taguchi's stamina is actually going to play into a factor here. Interesting. Still going to play into a factor. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Taguchi's pissed, but Despy's, he's Despy. Come on, you could do it. You could lose to him. So we need a Steal the Show match, I believe. Because I don't think we set one, yeah. As far as Rocky and Fly is probably our best bet. And I just want to also make... I wasn't even really paying attention to see if there was anyone else. Nope, just kind of fierce. Oh, we also got to add, obviously, Phoenix and Volador Jr., which that might be actually the Steal the Show match. Yep. I figured that might be the case, but we'll have it just be a regular match. We'll even bump down the time, too. Maybe even less than that. I'm sure it's fine. Should be good for the 3-hour mark, though. Yep. Figured so. Let's run the show. As Kaiju D'Amato, the Red Eye. 15:55, they don't click. It was okay. Obviously, Daniel Makabe is going to carry it. But big win, though, for Kaiju D'Amato. Hell yeah, it's a 59 for Phoenix and Volador Jr. Yet, Phoenix carrying Volador Jr. is the Meteor in 10:25. Forgot to change the venue. So yeah, we're in Corkin. The 38 for Silver and Yo. Jonzo with a win. Outperformed by 1 point. Should have put that way farther down on the card. As for same thing for Francesco and Black Taurus. Even though they have great chemistry, though. Would have been a low 50s. But Taurus with the Infernal Suplex in 12:24. 49 for Taguchi and Despy. It's actually pretty close. As Despy with the Pinche Loco in 10:02. And I got a 49 as Rocky beating a Flyer with a ankle lock at 11:49. 59 for Rocky. 43 for Flyer. As a 54 for Moriarty and Samurai del Sol. They don't click. Pretty close though. Samurai del Sol with a 54 or with a 52 rather gets the win with the Rising Sun at 1808. 54 as far as the rating goes. Oof, not enough pop there. As show with the Power Breaker in 1626. Eagles probably should have won that one. It's not looking good. There we go. Senta de Ora and Taiji Ishimori. As he gets the win in 1623. The fucking pinfall with the yes lock shit. 72 though for Pac and El Phantasmo. As Pac was a 450 splash in 2020. Getting the win. Making it 3 straight wins. Very, very close. Could have went either way, but Ryu Lee keeps his run going, beating Bushi in 21:57. Really good performance there. And our main event, a 72, Alex Shelley beating Caristico in 29:17. How it works. I was thinking about maybe having it be 29, like 50 or something like that, but I will do 29:17. That's fine. As gets to win the Border City stretch. Got outperformed though, but still great effort from everyone. Yeah, 70. Hell yeah. I mean, we didn't really have a lot of great stuff. Really, we just got saved by the top 4 matches on the card, but that's okay. Sometimes that just happens. You just kind of have to... Actually, Phoenix did pretty well, too. Plus, that opener did pretty well, too. Just, as far as a whole, really, the top 4 matches in the Phoenix Faldor Jr. match. There we go. We keep it rolling on to day 4. And then, of course, after this day, we'll take a look at the standings, see where everybody's at. Couple of guys, obviously Pac, undefeated so far. Ryu Lee's ran through a couple of big names already. No, he hasn't lost yet. Well, yeah, he hasn't lost yet. Phoenix, losing to Show has really hurt him as far as a whole for that block. But even Show, though, he's gotten some big wins. He might be someone to watch out for. Black Taurus has been running through some guys. Should be very interesting. Shelley, he's pretty sure he's undefeated at this point. Yeah, Sakuraba's leaving the business. Pouring out for our guy. Oh yeah, new signee. WWE didn't want to give Shelton Benjamin a contract, and we were like, well, might as well. He's, I'm not sure if we're going to put him in the Foundation, or if we just put him back in Suzuki-gun. Not really sure, but, yeah, just figured, might as well. He's got some pop. Figured he'll do pretty well for us, yeah. Alright, day 4. Before we're just going to go ahead, because we'll have to change it, so let's do that here. Let's change this, make sure we're not running there again. Because I thought for sure oh no, that's right, we were thinking about it, but we backed off of it, I guess. Weird. Or I didn't hit select. Either way, that will be probably our best option, at least for now. I guess, yeah, that'd probably be our best option. So for day 4 here, we're back with as far as having a Block B main event. Ishimori Riley. I mean, that makes so much sense, and it's gonna be a draw. We're going 30 with it. Both men, as far as this is first time meeting as far as singles wise. Back in August 2020, back at the Road to Wrestle Dynasty. There was a Phantasmo Ishimori versus Bandito Ryu Lee tag match. Got a 61. I mean, it should be pretty awesome. I think Ishimori's going to outperform him. He's probably going to be a little upset, so we're just going to go ahead and keep him strong just in case. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good main event, if I do say so myself. As far as what's going to be the co-main, not Pac and Yo. As, I'm sure there's, Shelly Silver's kind of fun. As far as, actually, Caristico Daniel Makabe is probably the best bet. Caristico's going to get the win there. And, Francesco and Rey Fenix is just so awesome of a match on paper that we have to do it. Phoenix is going to get the win there. Then we'll do Pac and Yo. Pac's going to beat Yo. I think everyone saw that one comes. So Pac already 4-0. So far, he's living up to what he predicted. Then we're going to have Shelly in Silver, which John Silver is going to get the upset win over Alex Shelley. Very big win. Shelley's pissed. That makes sense, but that's a big-time win. Nonetheless, it's Senta de Ora and Show. Show's going to beat Senta de Ora, who I believe is starting out 0-4. And that is not good. 0 points in the first 4 days. Not a great start for Senta de Ora. Eagles and Moriarty is a really good match, too, as Moriarty's going to beat Robbie Eagles. It's a big-time win. Big-time win. That's a former junior heavyweight challenger in this mod. So that's pretty big. As Bushi and Black Taurus, that's probably going to go ahead of Eagles and Moriarty. Black Taurus is going to beat Bushi. Ooh, that's big. That is big. Yeah, then Tamato and Taguchi. Kaiji Tamato's going to beat Raisuke Taguchi. Taguchi's going to keep that strong, though. Yeah. Listen, he's putting over guys. That's the idea. Despy and Rocky, with Rocky beating Despy there. Then Flyer and El Fantasmo, which we'll have that. And Samurai del Sol and Volador Jr., so we'll need... And that match is set to steal the show, funny enough, which we're not going to do, because it kind of won't. So what's probably our best bet for... Honestly, Moriarty and Eagles is probably the best bet for that. It's already right there, so we'll just kind of bump that down. Because Eagles is pretty well, as far as technically sounded. Definitely technically sounded. Just 4 minutes we got to shave off. Probably off of this... I kind of like this Despy, so we'll bump that down 1. We're just going to go through and bump down, like, kind of 1 at a time. Bushi Black Taurus not getting a lot of times interesting, though. As, I kind of want to bump down this Pac and Yo match to 17. And then 1 more minute to bump down. We'll bump this down, like, 20. And then I want to give some more time to Taurus and Bushi. So we're kind of, we're going all over the place here right now, because we're going over and under, we're going over under. We can bump this way the fuck down to like 11. And then we'll make sure this hits 15, which is, I hate doing 15 because I don't know if it's going to be enough, or it should be fine though, hopefully. Hopefully so, as I'm just curious to see. So just Taguchi and Shelly being pissed, slightly overused on a couple of guys, and then Silver being used far too much. We're good to go, though. Let's run day 4 here. Yep, right decision there to have that be the opener. As Eagles actually would have outperformed Lee Moriarty there. Probably should have got the win. That stuff. But a nice upset, though, for Robbie Eagles. Or for Samurai Del... For Lee Moriarty, Samurai Del Sol and Volador Jr. here, as Samurai Del Sol, the Del Sol driver in 10:38. 55 for Samurai Del Sol, 46 for Volador Jr. I thought this would have enough. It did not, as Phantasmo probably should have beat Flyer there, as Flyer with a 450 in 13:29. It's a 56 for El Desperado, and Rocky Romero's Rocky with a 59, as he gets done with the ankle lock in 11:46. Rocky's done pretty well for himself. I want to say he's like, he's got 6 points, just off the top of my head. It's Kaiji D'Amato and Raisuke Taguchi. They have great chemistry, which they had a match last year, and Taguchi beat him. This time around, though, Kaiji D'Amato with the Tomato Vine in 17-17. Big win. Pretty close, though. I mean, only 11-point difference. I feel like that's kind of justified for the upset. 54 for Taurus and Bushi. 1 point difference. I was thinking it was kind of crazy having Taurus beat him, but it's actually pretty close. 42 for Sentiora and Sho. I keep trying. I don't know why. I should have learned my lesson the last time around, because Sho is not getting into the 50s. Ain't happening. Not happening at all. So 57 for Shelly and John Silver, as Jonathan Silver with the big upset win over Alex Shelley in 23:49, getting the one with the Enziguri. They've had some matches on Strong, too, in the past, and that's just, it felt like that was a fun match to do, as far as Silver and Shelley have the upset win. The 68 for Pac and Yo. Pac with the Shooting Star Press in 16:35. Definitely could have been a little bit better. I think just really the time was probably the biggest issue there. Would be my guess. Actually, a disinterested crowd. Whoops. It's 61 for Phoenix and Francesco. You're about to say, if this match doesn't get him going, I don't know what will, because you got some high-flying motherfuckers in there. And Phoenix gets the win with the Meteor in 14:22. The 72 for Caristico and Makabe, which they did the exact same. That is insane. Damn, Makabe. Hell yeah. I mean, he's just has super exceeded my expectations what he would be doing in this series. Him and Caristico tied with 67 as far as in-ring performance. 72 as an overall match rating. And probably going to be the best match on this show. It's Caristico with the springboard arm drag. Doesn't it La Mystica? That's awesome though for Daniel Makabe. A 65 for Ryu Lee and Ishimori. Wow, the draw. It's a 65. I think just really probably some holding back was really the biggest issue there. Not a bad show. 65, we'll take it. 72 though for the co-main. Hell yeah, Caristico and Makabe. Killing it. Now obviously Pac and Yodi even did better than the main of Block B. But yeah, you're gonna have that happen. We really stack the deck against our junior champ. Just be like, you want to say you're gonna, run through the block? Put your, kind of money where your mouth is there. And yeah, obviously now we'll run through the standings and whatnot. And yeah, we'll see how everybody's setting up. Obviously, you could kind of tell though, Shelley was going undefeated until losing the silver, but Pac 4-0. Big start already for him, and he is looking like he's got a very great chance of fulfilling that prophecy that he has of being sweeping the block and going that Sergeant Slaughter passes away in the mod, and we're going to sign Tenzon. So yeah, so it's going to seem seamless, but I'm going to have to do all that adding up and making sure, making sure the graphic looks fine and everything, as I don't know why I'm exclusively writing Jado. We'll just have him on a handshake deal. Not that big of a deal not having Jado around on an exclusive deal. So yeah, we'll be back rather shortly. Alright, the standings look like this after 4 days. A little graphic, it gets the job done. I hope it's not too small. I feel like it's a nice size, but it might be too small. As that's the one bad thing about recording, is if you need something like kind of right then and there to be like, hey, is this too short, or is this too small, is this, is this that? But I think it's a pretty good size, as for Block A, no surprise, Pac, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, is not only leading his block, but leading the entire tournament, as he's the only guy to have not lost or drawn, because obviously that comes down to who's the leader of Block B, and Ryu Lee, who has the draw with Ishimori, who has 7 points. Block A is kind of interesting, because obviously Pac is leading, but the person, or persons, that are in second is actually John Silver and Rocky Romero, because Shelley and Caristico, even though they are, you would assume, to be 2 and 3, actually not, because obviously Shelley's lost to Silver, and then Caristico has lost to Shelley. So in that kind of format, that's what it's looking like as far as right now. Obviously, it's still very, very early. As far as a block, we have 3 guys, I guess, in the entire tournament that have 0 points. Phantasmo, Senda de Ora, and Volador Jr., which is just crazy about Senda de Ora, because he's in an okay block. It's definitely compared to Block A. Block A is a lot tougher, but still, he has taken on some of the bigger names like Taurus and Bushi, and, as far as that goes, also Sho and Ishimori, so he's really taken on the best of the best. Still has to face Phoenix and Ryu Lee, though, still, but I think we'll be seeing some wins in the future, and also, like, between him and Volador Jr., like, someone's got to win. So we'll see how that goes, because that's what happened with Flyer and El Phantasmo. They faced each other and Flyer beat them, so that's probably, will probably be a trend of that in the future, where we'll be seeing with Senda de Ora and Volador Jr. As far as that's, we don't have to go through everything here. You can kind of see, everybody can see what's going on. I guess we didn't talk about who's in second for Block B. I guess we can do that real quick. So Samurai del Sol, one would assume, as far as he's doing pretty well for himself with 6. Sho with 6. Ishimori with 5, which is weird because he lost. That's a tough loss too, losing to Robbie Eagles. As far as that goes, but Robbie Eagles has got 4, so really, Black Taurus is someone with 6 as well. He's beaten Bushi, at Francesco and Senda de Ora, so not really as far as the bigger names. He's lost to Ryu Lee. It's really down to, as far as what Phoenix, Samurai del Sol, and Sho, what are they going to do as far as for Ryu Lee, because can they catch him? They definitely can. Phoenix, him and Ryu Lee, that's going to be incredible. They've had a match before. That was at Fantastica Mania. So that should be, a lot of fun when that happens. And then also, too, for Ryu Lee, him and Sho could be, interesting as far as that goes. But the thing about Sho is he's already beaten Rey Fenix. So he has the tiebreaker win over him. So really, I would say Sho's right now, the second guy in Block B. There's nothing like round robin math, you gotta go through everything. It's gonna go through all that. So, kind of funny enough, before we start this day, they don't want Michael Cole. Now, would I ever want to sign Michael Cole? Usually no. But the reason why I want to sign him is because his announcing is somehow. I would say that because Michael Cole's pretty good. All right, listen, he's pretty good. It's just we've been having him have somebody in his ear talking to him for the past like 20 some odd years. I think if he was by himself, sure, he'd probably be fine. It'd be weird him in New Japan, but he's better as far as in this game than Shinpei Nogami. So that kind of sucks. We're gonna go for him, and he'll replace Shinpei Nogami, and I'll die inside. But that's just that's what's going on here. So we're signing a couple people this tour. Pretty interesting. As for day 5 here of the Best Super Juniors. Let's see. We've kind of been almost everywhere. Getting closer and closer. This is the one, because I was like, there's not really... We have this convention center, which would probably be our best bet to run. So that's what we'll do. Oh, we got a backstage and I completely skipped over it. I'm an idiot. It's probably a good bit, yeah. It's Flamita Tanahashi. Flamita's Rob 4 Wrestlers Court accused of moaning about stuff all the time and bumming everyone else out, just being a Debbie Downer. The judge, Hiroshi Tanahashi, found him guilty and sentenced him to shut up or cheer up and to buy drinks right after the show. As a small positive impact for Flamita. And then Milano passes on some selling tips to Yazutaka Yano. I don't know why I want to, every fucking time I always want to call him Yazutaku as Yazutaka Yano. He's right now, as far as those two young lions with Yuto and Yano's slightly better than him right now, but we'll see how it goes as far as when they graduate. As for the show, which, it's an odd show number, as we're back to Block A main eventing. And I think that's a perfect main event. Pac, John Silver, of course, John Silver just upsetting Alex Shelley. Can he get the win here? No, he does not. Falls short to Pac. Pac makes it 5-0. That is quite impressive. And just like that, he's already at double digits. So that's a big win for Pac. And he's still got a good ways to go as far as almost at the halfway point, though. Still of sweeping the block. So that's a great sign for him. Then Ryu Lee and Sho. It's just kind of funny how this has worked out. Or the number 1 and number 2 guy, theoretically, face each other as Ryu Lee is going to beat Sho. We should probably give that a little bit more time than 19 minutes. We'll give it 22. Phoenix and Samurai Del Sol is pretty fucking awesome. As we're going to have that steal the show. And Phoenix is going to beat Samurai Del Sol. That's huge. And Karistiko and Raisuke Taguchi. As Taguchi's going to beat Karistiko. That's pretty nuts. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. We'll have Taguchi. Kept Taguchi strong. We're going to keep Karistiko strong. And we're also going to bump that up so it's not back-to-back. Yeah, so just kind of every other. As far as Block A, Block B matches. Taurus and Ishimori is a great match there. Black Taurus is going to beat Taiji Ishimori. My God, as far as Ishimori beat him last year in the Best Super Junior, this time around, he is not going to get the win, and we're going to keep Ishimori strong just because I feel like we're going to need to do that. Yeah, that's probably for the best. As I'm trying to think, what would Rocky and Kaji Yamato is probably. Oh, actually, I completely missed Shelley and Daniel Makabe. Holy shit, what a match! And that is going the distance. 30 for Shelley and Makabe. First time that we're going to bump this way up here. I kind of want it to main event, but it kind of can at the same time. Man, that's going to be a really, really good match, though. And, so, yeah, we got, as far as A, B, and B again. So we'll probably have to throw some A matches in there. if we can, I guess Rocky and Kaji D'Amato will probably be for the best. As we have that for Steal the Show. Rocky beating Kaji D'Amato. Which, oh boy, I guess. Well, this is Block A, no, Caristico. Yeah, so we gotta. There we go. And we'll just, we'll flip that and that. Yeah, there we go. So it doesn't really actually it doesn't fucking matter. We're at this point we kind of did our back and forth. Now we can just kind of do whatever. But it's kind of funny. It is pretty close to it being like a Block A match, Block B match, kind of going back and forth like that throughout the past couple of shows we've booked. Francesco and Bushi rather is going to be the next one. Bushi's going to get the win there. Cinta de Oro and Lee Moriarty. There we go. He gets his first win, beating Lee Moriarty. Tough loss for Moriarty, though. This one, I have a feeling we're going to need to make it a 3:30 show. As, I don't think the 3 hours is going to cut it. Just to be on the safe side. And actually, too, it looks like something's already going on. It's probably a road agent. Oh, no, just Technical Masterclass. Never mind. So, this is Volador Jr. and Eagles. So I guess we'll go here. Eagles will get the win. And then Phantasmo and Desperado will probably be the technical... yeah, that'll probably be the Technical Masterclass, actually. As Phantasmo will be getting the win. And that will be no more as far as winless for him. That's pains me, but I feel like that's for the best. And then Flyer and Yo will go before that, and Yo's going to win, beating Flyer. And we still... 2:32. Actually, we might be able to skate by with a 3-hour show. Just kind of see what's up. 10 minutes. Yeah, probably should just stick with the 3:30 show. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a road agent. Figured it'd be him because I was like, oh, we didn't have anything bad as far as up until that point. We'll have Jado be the agent. Alright. Let's run day 5 here. Yep. Well, I mean, he got... The right guy won. But it still pains me as El Phantasmo gets the one with the greetings from Kenwood Park. Definitely would have been a little bit better. Just, yeah, just not great. Not great there to have that be the opener. And neither would this been, to be fair, but it was a little bit better as Flyer and Yo have great chemistry at least, and Yo gets the win. 1 point better. So slight edge for Yo. 58 for Volador Jr. Robbie Eagles. There we go. Volador Jr.'s in the 50s at least now as Eagles gets the win with the Warp 4-5. 42 for Cinta de Oro and Lee Moriarty. Ain't it? As Cinta de Oro with the El Incognito special. As Moriarty slightly better. Of course, the one time we give Cinta de Oro a win, he actually gets outperformed. 52 for Francesco and Bushi. As Bushi with the MX and 1330. Francesco is off his game a little bit. That makes sense. 56 for Rocky Romero and Kaiji D'Amato. This has been Rocky's best Super Junior so far. He's been doing really, really well. 12:51 with the ankle lock. Good win for Rocky Romero. 61 for Black Taurus and Taiji Shimori. Big upset for Black Taurus. They're getting a huge win. Getting the one with the Infernal Suplex. Big best Super Junior for the Dark Order. Black Taurus doing well. Silver doing well. I'm sure Brody is very excited about seeing that. 62 for Caristico and Ryusuke Taguchi. I mean, just laughable how much he got outperformed. Should have just had Caristico won that one. As a 64 for Phoenix and Samurai del Sol. Phoenix with the Meteor on 12:49. Big win there for Phoenix. Fun match too. Shelley and Makabe. Wow. Shelley did worse than Makabe. That is crazy. I'm just kind of curious what... So holding back a low morale for Alex Shelley. Interesting. Huh. Weird. Alright, well that's tough. That's a tough... But big opportunity though for Daniel Makabe though. Big opportunity there. As Ryu Lee and Sho. As Ryu Lee with a 62 and Sho with a 50. Ryu Lee getting the win. Continuing his run of not being pinned or submitted. As We'll just go with that. Having not lost, he'll tie, but he hasn't lost yet. The 63 for Pac in silver, and Pac with a rotator cuff strain. Thank God he didn't tear his rotator cuff. That would have fucking sucked. 630 though for Pac. That's pretty awesome. But a rotator cuff strain, not good. Tried to carry John Silver rather to a pretty good match. I don't know what happened with Silver there. Usually does pretty well, just holding back. Inconsistency too, and the injury hurting that one too. That's probably gonna be one of the worst shows just from having an injury in the main event. I mean, what are the odds? But still, at least somehow, because it's a tour show for the most part, but also too, we're still gaining pop, which is just funny. As yeah, I'm surprised Eagles and Valdor Jr. That should have been after Rocky and Kaiser D'Amato. But yeah, I mean, not the greatest of days, but hopefully Pac, at least for him, here's a guy who wanted to win it all and win it every single block match, and to maybe potentially miss a show or two with that rotator cuff strain. Not great. Not great at all. But we still have a lot of tournament left. We're almost at the halfway point, as actually we're just at this next show will be after the halfway point. So awesome. We'll catch you guys for day 6. Well, some tough news there for John Silver, as he was working CZW shows throughout this, which is just hilarious. And of course, he got hurt, and he's out for 4 months now. Not great. So now he'll be forfeiting the rest of his matches, and so Flyer's going to get free 2 points there. It's awesome for him, but not great. At least John Silver got the big match with Pac, and but that is not good. Not good at all. As far as we're at here, I mean, we should probably run Osaka sooner rather than later, but we're going to keep on waiting on that, as we'll run this community center that runs such a funny capacity, 998, just right under 1,000. As for this, being an even show, we want a Block B main, Riley, probably Bushi and Ishimori is probably our best bet, though, to be honest. Bushi's gonna get the win, too, which I don't love that one bit, actually. Well, I guess we'll just keep it. Fuck it. But because there is a awesome co-main here, and Pac and Shelly. And Shelly, after going 30, almost goes 30 again with Pac, but he's going to come up short. Pac's going to get the win, as they're just fighting for submissions throughout the end of it. And Pac finally locks it in. Shelly rolls through it, just kind of elbows to the side of the head like fucking Gary Goodrich, like UFC. I think it was like 2 or 6, whatever it was. And he goes to the top, fucking Black Arrow pins him. There's some crazy shit like that. Just some ultra violent for no reason type of shit. That's what that really was. As Makabe and Taguchi would be a lot of fun to do as well, but I think we're going to go with probably Phoenix and Eagles, to be honest, which would be an awesome match, as Phoenix will be getting the win, and then we'll do Makabe and Taguchi, as Makabe's going to beat Taguchi, and a nice win there for Makabe. Figured that was going to happen. Figured so. Taguchi, just the biggest pain in the ass to book during these Best of Super Juniors. Caristico and Rocky Romero, another really good match. Caristico's going to beat Rocky. We'll throw Samurai Dells, actually. Black Taurus and Show instead. So Black Taurus is going to beat Show. That's a nice win for him. Then we'll do Riley and Lee Moriarty, as Riley's getting the win. So again, he continues his run. So no one has stopped him yet. 6 shows in. We've had a draw, but not... I love how I put a T instead of a draw, too. Instead of draw, it's a tie. What an idiot. Regarding our little graphics. Samurai Del Sol and Francesco. Del Sol's going to get the win there. It's a big win. It's a fun match, though. Block B's just got a lot of crazy high flyers. Whereas Block A's kind of got a little bit of everything more on the technical side. But there's also Caristico, too, and Pac. That's probably Tamato and Phantasmo, with El Phantasmo beating Kaji Tamato. Just pour one out for my boy there. That's tough. Deora and Volador Jr. Yeah, Cinder Deora is getting the win. Get out of here, Volador Jr. And then Despy and Yo. With, this is going for the Technical Masterclass. And, Yo's gonna get the win. And, what would have been for Flyer and John Silver? Flyer would have beat John Silver, actually, so that's pretty crazy in itself, but at least Flyer doesn't get screwed out of any points. So I figured, now that we'll definitely be able to run everything kind of under the 3-hour banner. So we still have... Oh, just now it's going to be because... Yeah, Pac's injury is only going to last for this show, so hopefully he doesn't further injure himself. But other than that, we should be good to go as far as that goes. Yep, Yo outperformed him, even though 31. Not a great start. 53 for Cinder Deora and Volador Jr., though, as the El Incognito Especial. And 11.56 for Cinder Deora. Nice win for Cinder Deora. That's 2 straight now for him. Kaji D'Amato should have fucking... It was the underhanded tactics, though. El Phantasmo needed some help from Jado and Ghetto to get that win over Kaji D'Amato. So 46, though. Cooled the crowd. Fans hated the ending, too. It's not great. Not great at all. It's a 44 for Samurai del Sol and a grade 2 AC joint separation. That is not good for Mr. Samurai del Sol. He'll be out for the rest of the tournament as well as another one bites the dust. At least he gets some points, though, to end it out before he hangs it up for the tournament. As he gets the one with the Rising Sun in 1334. Not great at all. As a 60 for Ryu Lee and Lee Moriarty, as Ryu Lee in 1738 gets the win. Big win there. 54 for Taurus and Show. Yeah, I had a feeling after I put that match ahead of us, like, well, Ryu Lee's going to outperform everybody in this match, so why is it going on before it? But it works out a little bit. The Infernal Suplex in 1630 for Black Taurus. Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense. That'd be a fun match in, like, the mid-2000s, too. Like, Prime Mystico against Black Tiger 4, if they did that like the Best Super Junior. So he gets the win with the springboard arm drag, too. Not even with the Mystica 2027. Some really good stuff there. 64 from Makabe and Taguchi. As Daniel Makabe gets the win 24-29. Big win for Makabe there. Outperforming Taguchi, too, no less. Awesome stuff. It's Phoenix carrying Robbie Eagles to the 69. And nice. As Ray Phoenix to the Meteor at 13:44. Got the crowd buzzing as well. For this co-main, man, that injury took a big toll, but somehow we get it to a 70 as Pac with the Black Arrow, 29-11. I just fixed Shelley's morale, so that should not be the issue. He's holding back, but Pac have to work with the injury. Thank God, though, he'll be back and at 100% next time around. Wow, lack of psychology. Weirdly enough, that's the first time that's happened during this tournament. I'm not sure if that was because the road agent was shit. I'm just kind of curious. It was Yamasaki. Shouldn't be that. But Ishimori should have won. It's Bushi with the upset in the main event with the Ashi Road in 21:37. Yep. And Crystar popped by 3, though, somehow. Kurisagon Rocky should have, if this was a Block A show, that should have main evented for sure. That was pretty good, though. Pretty good show. So yeah, we just have, day 7, and then day 8, we'll check the standings again, which will be a lot of Fs, and we'll probably change back the Ts to Ds, so it's a draw instead of tie, because I'm a fucking idiot. Alright, so at least Samurai del Sol, he's only going to be missing out for kind of the rest of this tour, but he'll be back at least after Dominion, which doesn't really matter, because that's going to be when the G1 happens, so... It does suck that he gets to miss out on this opportunity, but just kind of got to roll with the punches. This tour, it's brutal, and I try to space it out as much as I can, but when you have this many guys and you're still throwing out a lot of matches at them, it's tough for sure. As Cinder Deora brought before Wrestler's Court, accused of failing to pick up his share of the tab at the bar. The judge, Hiroshi Tanahashi, found him guilty and sentenced him to buy drinks for everyone after the show. And Ishii passing on tips on selling to his protege, Harada. Awesome. So yeah, I think now we're all caught up but Osaka. So, well, yeah, it's probably for the best, since it's almost the end of May anyways. We'll have the Wakayama Prefectural Gym. So I'm just kind of curious what Samurai del Sol would have done. So he would have beaten Robbie Eagles. And then for John Silver, which he's facing Despy, I'm assuming he's going to get the win there. Yeah, we would have got the win there too. So that's 3 points for El Desperado and Robbie Eagles. As for, really, it's an odd show. So it should be a Block A main event. Probably Taguchi and Shelley, to be honest. Or Rocky Makabe. Because, Pac Flyer's awesome, but I don't want it to be the main. So we'll go with Taguchi and Shelley. Shelley's going to beat him. Nice win for Alex Shelley. And for Block B, Samurai del Sol, Robbie Eagles would have been probably it, to be honest. But we'll go with Cinta de Oro and Ray Phoenix, which is pretty good too. Phoenix is going to get the win. There's some fun matches, though, still. There's Pac and Flyer. Pac's going to get the win there. We're going to have that one steal the show because it's fucking Pac. It's going to flip all over the place. And, let's see. I kind of want to do Taurus and Moriarty, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. So we'll go Francesco and Ishimori. So Ishimori's going to get the win. He, not a great Best Super Junior for Taiji Ishimori. We're going to give that a little bit more time, too. Since, we're going to have now only 10 matches to book. Now Rocky and Makabe, which, what a win for Daniel Makabe, and stops kind of Rocky's run, too. It's a great showing for him. As I figured he'd be someone to be elevated from this, just from having a lot of great singles opportunities against a lot of great juniors. A Sho and Bushi? Sho's going to be Bushi. I guess we'll go with it. If he was going to complain, I probably would have switched it, but since he went with it, we're going to keep it. And then Taurus in Moriarty. Black Taurus is going to beat Lee Moriarty. As Ryu Lee, Volador Jr. The show. El Fantasma Caristico should probably be a little higher, too. Caristico's going to get the win. We'll probably put that after Bushi and Sho. And then, Kaji D'Amato and Yo being the Technical Masterclass match. Kaji D'Amato beat him last year, I know, but I kind of wanted to win at the same time. Because, let's just kind of, Kaji D'Amato, technical skills pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. I feel like they're better than Yo's, but I'll just keep it. Oh, I don't think, because we're going all out. Do is, change that. And that. And by 6 minutes. Probably could have kept it under 2:30, but actually, let's do that. Trying to think what we could give. Yeah, let's take some more time off this since we put some on it. And we'll take one away from that. Here we go. Assuming it's just from this. Yeah, a lot of guys are being used too much of that, which is not a good sign. Oh, please be a good show. Please. Yeah, well, didn't start off hot. Yo gets the win, 1606. 61, though, for Ryu Lee and Volador Jr. Yeah, that makes sense. They'd have great chemistry together. And it's Ryu Lee getting the win. Probably should have been way higher on the card, too. Which is, since he's, Ryu Lee's probably going to do better than half the guys in the upcoming matches. Yep. Black Taurus and Lee Moriarty had a pretty good match, though. As Taurus gets the win, 1337, the Infernal Suplex again. The fucking beast of the Dark Order, still doing well. Chugging along. As Bushi and Sho, I don't know why. Yo's doing better than Sho now at this point. He's somehow getting worse, even though we're giving him more wins. 71, though, for Caristico and El Fantasma. Caristico with that La Mystica. You pull out that La Mystica for El Fantasma, though, but not for Rocky Romero. Gets to win 17 minutes. 73 for Makabe and Rocky. What a match, as this would be a really good match. As Daniel Makabe beating Rocky Romero, and he outperformed him by 2 points, too. Good stuff. So 66 for Francesco and Ishimori. Lack of Psychology again by Ishimori. As let's just take a look and see who was the agent again. Oh, there's a different agent. It's not a, man, Taiji Ishimori, Lack of Psychology. Interesting. It's Pac and Flyer. Pac was off his game. Heard it, but he keeps it rolling. Still undefeated in this block. And 12-25 gets the one to 630. Another 64 for Phoenix and said that they are. It's Phoenix this time. It's off his game. Task Force Death not on it, but Phoenix gets the win though nonetheless in 1932. 66 main event is Shelley tapping out Rice Taguchi the Border City stretch in 24-26. You know, pretty good show. Makabe Rocky again. Rocky should. It's crazy. We're going to look at a lot of these shows and just be like, man, Makabe was the best guy in this match and this match. He's really been doing Pac was doing so good. Then the injury happened, and he's just kind of been lowballing a lot of stuff. Plus, it's also who he's facing, too, at the same time, because there's actually, like, good matches there with Makabe and Rocky and Caristico and El Fantasma, which another guy probably should be main eventing more in Caristico. Alright, so yeah, just this next show here, after we run it, we'll take a look at the standings again. We're going to have 2 forfeits, I know that much, and which is tough. But, you know, that's just kind of the nature of the beast, really, more than anything. At least they're in 2 different blocks, so it's kind of even in that sense, but it does suck that that's happened, as, we gotta, let's see what's going on here. Tommy Yen's getting an extension. Yeah, I mean, that is rather interesting. Samoa Joe's contract was up too, and I was just like, maybe I would like to do it. So after Silver got hurt, I was just like, I'm going to sign to a written deal. And I think we're going to get him. Yeah, we should be. AEW's not really that much of a threat as far as contracts-wise. So yeah, on to day 8 we go. So now we can kind of reset and do whatever we want, really, as far as for this show. It's Jeff Cobb. For wrestlers court accused of being an hour late to pick up his assigned travel partner, the judge Hiroshi Tanahashi found him guilty and sentenced him to pay for his travel partner's meals for the next 3 shows. Hell yeah. As for where we're going to run this show at, kind of don't run Kanto because we ran it twice already. This tour, maybe go back to Osaka, maybe Chubu. Yeah, I think just going back to back for Osaka here, that's probably the best bet. Yeah, because once days... Yeah, because we're really getting into the end here, because after this, it's down to... We're going to be checking kind of like after every show, the graphics, and really getting to the tail end here, because we only have 4 shows left. Crazy enough, as far as for the actual tournament. As for this main event, will be a Block B. Well, I know what the main event is. I mean, Ray Phoenix. Pretty awesome match, and Phoenix is going to beat Ryu Lee. That's a huge win in Ryu Lee's run as far as being not defeated is over. And Ray Phoenix gets that win. Big time win, too. For Block A. Fucking, I mean, probably the vets, you know, Taguchi, Rocky. Just makes sense, you know. As far as that goes, Taguchi's going to beat Rocky. I don't know how I feel about that. Because Rocky's been... we'll keep it. We'll keep it. Then we'll do... Let's see. Probably Ishimori Show. Because Ishimori's going to beat Show, thank Christ. And then Francesco and Eagles. So Eagles is going to beat Francesco as the partners battle it out. Shelley and Flyer. Pretty unique match. 2 back-to-back steal the show match is probably a bad idea, so we'll go with, got kind of curious to see what happened here. That's all I was going to let the game decide. I was like, I can't pick. So I might have lost points, might have gained points, depending on how that goes for Kaiju D'Amato. Well, I guess just really... Either way, he was going to gain points, since Kaiju D'Amato is probably going to get the win there, I'm assuming because of Pop, as... I want this to be the opener is the problem there. But having the champs and champs match kind of back-to-back like that. But again, it's both steal the show matches. So that's right, Samurai Soul is hurt still. So he would have got the win over Senade Aura. Well, yeah, Bushi Lee Moriarty is probably our best bet. Actually, probably Caristico and Yo. Caristico gets the win, and so does Bushi there. Then... I mean, it's crazy how far. We should probably give that a little higher up on the cards. Pac, again, keeps the winning ways going. We're not giving that any time, though. Gotta give him Pac a break, you know, at the same time. That's really kind of another thing. We're having a lot of steal the show matches when probably shouldn't. Now we'll do Shelly Flyer, which, speaking of, how about we just have a regular match? As Shelly's gonna get the win there. Taurus and Volador Jr. should be pretty fun. Black Taurus getting the win, too. Black Taurus might just win Block B. He just might. As Makabe and Phantasmo. He's going to beat Phantasmo. Daniel Makabe. What a hand. What a talent. Wow, we got it under the mark, too. Interesting. So, yeah, we're good to go as far as that goes. Let's run the show. It's Makabe and El Phantasmo. They don't click, but it's still good enough to at least get it over the hump a little bit, but it's still a 43. It's just not in, like, the 30s. There's a 56 for Black Taurus and Volador Jr. Black Taurus with the Infernal Suplex in 1324, or 23, rather, as, I feel like we don't really give him a lot of long matches, but he's just kind of in his bag, you know, the 12, 15-minute match. Just let him get his win. Shelly and Flyer, as Shelly gets the win at the underarm snap STO, about the DDT, 1333, 62 for the segment rating. Or Shelly's doing a good job there. Ooh, they don't click for Bushi and Lee Moriarty as Bushi with the fireball, with the Firebird Splash. I don't know what's going on with this show, but I just can't fucking speak. It's a 69 for Caristico and Yo. Again, Caristico, you really know when to bust out the La Mystica, as he beats Yo with it in 1250. Yeah, it just wasn't even close. Same thing for this match, but Pac at least is in the 80s as he beats El Desperado with a 450 and 1337. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I gave him a little because they were partners, but even then, I should have known better than that. Especially over Caristico and Pac. Made no sense. Robbie goes with a pulse drop, even though Francesco should have won. 69 for Ishimori and Sho. There we go, Sho. You're in the 50s. Is Ishimori with the yes lock. Yeah, I mean, Show is showing. They don't click in the main event. Oof. Oh, thank God it wasn't the main. Thought it was. Whew, that scared me. I mean, thank God it was a 57 somehow. Because they're 47, 48, so it shouldn't have equaled out to that. Just kind of curious. It was just a hot crowd. Yeah, Taguchi and Rocky just kind of physically declining as well. Not great for those two. 70 for Ryu Lee and Ray Phoenix. Again, don't know how we get a 70. I think just, again, the hot crowd helping us out as Ryu Lee getting the win. Or actually, Ryu Lee taking the fall, even though he outperformed Ray Phoenix thanks to Phoenix being really off his game. Hell of a performance, though, from Ryu Lee, though. As, yeah, we did okay. Again, you know, now that Pac wasn't in the main, of course, it's a Block B show anyways, but still, that does suck to miss out on a main event where Pac delivered in a big way. That poor Makabe, though, they just didn't click, and it ended up having one of the worst. I mean, I love Francesco and Eagles, but it sucks at how bad they're not, I guess they're doing okay. Maybe decent is probably the better word. It's just that everybody else in that division is so much better. It's just hard to keep trying to push them. So yeah, it'll be a seamless transition, but for me it'll be a little bit of time to add everything back up, as we'll take a look at the standings and then go into the Day 9 show. Alright, after 8 days of block matches, the standings look like this. As with Block A, of course, it's the story of Pac and Caristico. And really, you know, as far as that goes, Pac still chasing perfection. Caristico has 2 losses, which is tough as far as that goes. But he does get a break as far as it's going to be tough to gauge because he's taking on, I believe, he's got John Silver either either way, in the upcoming shows, he's taking on John Silver, so, you know, that's already the forfeit win, hence why it's kind of close, because really, the person, it's kind of hard to gauge, because Caristico and Daniel Makabe, they have the forfeit wins over John Silver, and I'm pretty sure those matches, you know, they were yet to take place. They're going to take place on either, you know, like days 10 or days 9, So really, it is just Pac. In Pac, right now he's tied Devitt as far as second ever points in a block tournament for the best of Super Juniors, as is Black Taurus down there for Block B, which obviously because we have so many people, records are going to get broken. Pac is aiming for breaking 18 Shingo's record, which will be just one more win, and then I'll tie Shingo. If he goes perfect, he'll finish with 22 points. But you see there, his last three people, Caristico, Makabe, and Kaji D'Amato. I believe he's taking on Kaji D'Amato this show, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe Kaji D'Amato can pull off the unthinkable and beat the junior heavyweight champion. We shall see. But Block B is definitely the block as far as the closest battle. Taurus with 16, which is crazy. He's still, as far as probably the bigger guys, he's still got Phoenix as far as that goes. And also, he had the forfeit. I believe he was supposed to face Samurai Del Sol this show. So he might have not even finished with 16. So there is that. So he's just got Phoenix and Robbie Eagles left. So he might have finished with around 14 or 16, who knows? Maybe even more. But we'll kind of go through that once we get to the show. Ryu Lee, as far as he goes, he's standing there at 15. He still has Senda de Ora. He still has Eagles as well. The draw with Ishimori is definitely hurting him right now, as far as regarding with him and Black Taurus. And also Ray Phoenix. That's going to come down to him losing to Ryu Lee, definitely a tough blow. But it's not over yet for Phoenix, I would say, because he's still got Black Taurus, and if he beats Taurus, that definitely opens up as far as a tiebreaker win over Taurus. And let's say Ryu Lee does end up choking and ends up losing out in his last two matches against Senda de Ora and Robbie Eagles. There you go. He's a shoo-in to be the block winner. So that it's basically down to those three guys. Robbie Eagles and Bushi, they're looking outside of the window, which. Right now, look at Ishimori. He's got 9 fucking points. That is insane. That's definitely... A lot of that is a lot of terrible decisions. Like, he probably should have beat Black Taurus for sure. Probably should have beat Robbie Eagles as well. He and Black Taurus probably should flip, but I just love Black Taurus. I can't help myself. Like, even though... he's okay, but he's definitely not the same level of guys in this block to be up there. But, we're still trying to make Black Taurus. He's... Definitely now with John Silver being hurt too, being like the head junior of, and really he's always been kind of the head junior guy of Dark Order. It's pretty fun to see him booked so well. Hopefully though, will he make it to the finals and kind of avenge that tie that he had as far as with Block B last year, or will it be Ryu Lee, the guy who didn't even get invited to last year's Best of Super Junior? As far as Volador Jr. still got 0 points. He's the lowest amount of points with him and Akira Francesco, a guy who finished with, 10, 12 points, something like that last year. He's got 12, or he's only got 2, rather, this year. He still has Sho, Lee Moriarty, and Cena de Ora left, so maybe he'll possibly finish with 6, maybe even 4, but finishing with 2 after that, performance is not great. His only win, too, is against Volador Jr., the guy who's got no points, so not the greatest of wins for them as far as that goes. And really, as a whole, this show should be pretty interesting. As far as Block A goes, the focus is definitely on, will Pac finish perfect? For Block B, though, it's a 3-man race, as we only have 3 more round-robin tournament shows left, so without further ado, let's get on with the show here, as we're already in June. Pretty crazy, we're already halfway through 2021. Friday Lee was brought before a wrestler's court, accused of moaning about stuff all the time and bumming everyone else out. What? You gotta be a Debbie Downer when you're having a hell of a run here in the Best of Super Junior. He's found him guilty and sends him to shut up or cheer up and to buy drinks for everyone after the show. Then we have, Kazuchika Okada with Yura Nakashima, which is passing on psychology tips. That's he, as Yano has got Milana, which is awesome, but having Kazuchika Okada as your protege is pretty nuts. And then Satoshi Kojima passes on tips on microphone work to Aldo Tamura. A lot of psychology passing, a lot of microphone skills being passed around. So here, this was what would have been kind of the last. Yeah, I mean, because that would have been the. I want to say that was the road to the last show before the tournament finals. I want to say could have been the next show. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Nonetheless, though, it's a big time show for the best Super Juniors. So we're at the tail end of the tournament. So now we can kind of go. Again, we can kind of go anywhere we want. Obviously, we want to keep Kanto for not only for the finals of the best Super Junior, but we'll probably run Osaka maybe for both the best Super Junior finals and for. But I think Kanto would probably be for the best, and then obviously Dominion is going to be in Osaka. So yeah, we'll go Chubu. I think that's probably for the best. There, this Congress Center is always a good idea. This gymnasium's 1,480, which now they're both 1,480, so I guess it doesn't matter. As that'd be funny if it's the same building, but because they're different names, I thought it was different places. As Yapak and Kaiji D'Amato, we'll just get on with it. So yeah, Riley would have faced Samurai del Sol, and wow, Samurai del Sol would have beat him. That would have been interesting, but Riley gets his 2 points thanks to Samurai del Sol getting injured. As for Pac, is the chase for perfection continuing? It is. He beats Kaji D'Amato. He now ties Shingo for the most amount of points in a block. And Shingo and Devitt, they swept their blocks, obviously, with all the points they got. But can Pac, it'd be a damn shame if he, very much like when the Warriors broke the Bulls' most amount of wins in a single season when they went 73-9 and then went on to lose in the finals, would very much be something of that effect when you break that record and end up either falling short by not sweeping the rest of the block or even falling short in the finals. That would be big tough. That would be big tough for sure. As far as the main event should be a Block A main event. I guess we'll keep Kaiji D'Amato, I guess. I was thinking that though Rocky and Shelley would be a lot of fun, though, too, at the same time. Caristico and John Silva, another match that would have been a lot of fun. I think Caristico probably would have won that one, yeah. That one made a little bit more sense. But yeah, we'll add Lee Moriarty and Taiji Ishimori, which Ishimori gets the win. So he'll get into double digits at least, but fucking Christ, that is just, that is crazy. That he, the way he was booked. Definitely Phoenix and Black Taurus, though. Gotta add this. And Phoenix will be beating Black Taurus. So we'll potentially. He'll be the leader of the block after this. Obviously, Ryu Lee will have to catch up because of he'll already be stuck at 15. So Phoenix will technically be the leading leader of the block after this show. And Rocky and Shelley. Shelley's gonna beat Rocky there. Makes sense. It's interesting, Daniel Makabe, a guy who we'll add here. He is, I believe, from what I remember of the, we'll just hurry up and bring him back up because I want to say he's second. No, he's third. That's right. He's right behind Caristico, and with that win, he now passes Caristico because obviously he's taking on John Silver. Pretty crazy. I mean, a guy who, his debut was this year. For New Japan, because we had kind of booked them sparingly for a strong. Yeah, one of the first strongs, or not even one of the first strongs, Robbie Eagles and Daniel Makabe with a 41, and to have him join the United Empire and it's had a hell of a fucking run. Against a lot of top guys, too. He's outperformed a lot of these people that he has beaten, too. So that's just a great run for that man. Has really fit like a glove for us, and he's getting another win over Yo. El Phantasmo and Ryusuke Taguchi. So funny enough, Taguchi was supposed to lose this match, and I just looked at the pre-booking page. I was like, hey, we got to change that. So Taguchi's beating Phantasmo there. As Desperado and Flyer, as Flyer will be beating Despy, which is a big win for Flyer. As Robbie Eagles and Senda de Oro, that's going to go a little bit higher. Senda de Oro is going to beat Robbie Eagles. So I think Senda de Oro is chilly now. From he was cooled going into this tournament. Obviously, starting off 0-4 was not great, but he bounced back a little bit there. As I don't know why I'm thinking we've booked this match before. I don't know why. I was just like, we booked this before. This should probably be the opener, to be honest. So we might have that be the opener, to be fair. So we'll bump that down, and then our final 2 matches there. Kira, Francesco, and Show. The Show's going to be Francesco, which, just kind of makes sense. Francesco, again, he finished with 10 points, and he's only going to finish with 2 this time around. Not great. Not great at all. And then Bushi and Volador Jr., which this could have been a technical masterclass match, now I'm thinking about it. Well, maybe not so much. We'll keep it there. But Bushi getting another win and another loss for Volador Jr. Not great at all, as we are just 3 minutes ahead. So we'll bump down this Francesco Show match. And I think it's just, we need to steal the show match. I guess Cinta de Ora and Robbie Eagles? I guess that can be it. Alrighty. And then I think we should be good to go there. Alright. So that's 69. Nice for Makabe and Yo. Makabe's almost in the 70s now. Good stuff. 55 for Bushi and Volador Jr. Is Bushi with the Ashi Road and 1156. Whew. Yeah, but we made it a slow build and we forgot to turn that off. But that's alright. It still would have been pretty shit, but Show at least outperforms Kira Francesco in 13 minutes with the shock arrow. Oh, and another 36. This should have been way the fuck down on the card. As Flyer beats El Desperado 450 splash and 12-15. 43 for El Fantasma and Raisuke Taguchi. They actually have good chemistry. Just the foreign object for Taguchi. I forgot that was what was going to be the finish. I forgot to change it. That's alright. That is alright. As 38, my god, this has been a shit show and a half. But Cinta de Ora at least outperformed him. He gets the submission with the El Incognito Especial. 38. 61 for Lee Moriarty and Taiji Ishimori. I don't know why Ishimori has such shitty psychology, but it's hilarious. It's a 66 for Rocky and Shelley, as Alex Shelley with the Border City Stretch in 1958. Pretty good stuff there. It's a 69 for Black Taurus and Ray Phoenix, as from what I remember correctly, Black Taurus had beaten Ray Phoenix during their last Best Super Junior matchup. I'm not exactly sure, though. Just off the top of my head. And the main event is 71 as Pac with the Shooting Star leg drop. And that's continuing his perfection reign. A lot of shit. Daniel Makabe and Yo was the second best thing, tied for the second best thing on this card, it being the opener. Unbelievable. Just a whole lot of shit there in the middle. But we got it back, though, with Ishimori and Moriarty. As for the standings now, after that show, they look a little bit like this. As Pac, tying Shingo's record at 18. Makabe being second. Karisuko third. Shelley with fourth. Then we have Taguchi getting 10 points at least. Everybody else is kind of still middle of the pack between 4 and 8. Rocky and Yo are at 8. Silver obviously going to finish with 6, which is a shame. And Kaiji Tamada and Flyer with 6. Despy and El Fantasma at 4. As far as Block B goes, Black Taurus still stuck at 16, but obviously Phoenix getting that win now is the tiebreaker win. But now it's going to come down to really Ray Phoenix and Ryu Lee. Could potentially still be Black Taurus depending on what Phoenix does if he does lose in fact, because he's still got Taiji Ishimori left and also Bushi as well. So some tough guys in there. And for Black Taurus, he's got obviously. As far as, I forgot to put the X for him, as he's supposed to have an X there in front of Phoenix. So he's supposed to just have Eagles left. As, that's a big time. That's an easy potential win for him. So let's say Phoenix does end up losing one of those, or both of those matches, really. He's going to have to at this rate, which is not great odds for Black Taurus, but really anything can happen. And obviously Ryu Lee, he's only got 2 matches left as well. He's just got Cinta de Ora and Robbie Eagles. Robbie Eagles has quite the last matches there with Black Taurus and Ryu Lee. He could potentially play spoiler role for one of those 2 men. And, with Bushi with 12, Ishimori with 11, which is hilarious. But really, with his psychology kind of, as far as knocks, it's not been great for him. But, man, that's 11 is pretty embarrassing. Cinta de Ora at least somehow came back with 8 and is tied as partner. It's pretty cool. And then Lee Moriarty with 4. Tough first run for Lee Moriarty. Really got outperformed for most of those matches, too. But, you know, him and, as far as, this is a tour show, so it kind of, or it's been mostly tour shows up to this point, but he does a little bit better when it's the main show, but still, I don't think he'd still outperform those guys anyways. And then Francesco, obviously, still with 2, and Volador Jr. with 0 points still, and he's only got Sho and Ishimori left. Can he somehow pull off an upset? I doubt it. Ric Flair, I mean, there's been, Flair's passed away this episode, Anna Mamaguchi passed away this episode. A lot of people have been dying this episode, which is not great. But I believe we still have, it's tomorrow, and then obviously we got New Japan Strong to do as well. So yeah, on to the 10th day of the Best Super Junior. Alrighty, let's see where we're gonna run this show at. So obviously we still have one more tour date after this. So, we'll just kind of think ahead here. And, because, you know, we can kind of, we're not going to run Osaka, obviously, but we can kind of run, like, maybe not Sapporo, because they don't really have a great venue for us. It has been, I feel like it's been a while, day 5 since we ran Kyushu. Kyushu doesn't really have a great place either. I mean, do we just run with 7? I feel like we're at the tail end now. We might as well go back to, this venue here. Yeah, since day 2 last time we've been here, so that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the matches that we want to look at. Obviously, this main event here in Karistiko and Pac, which isn't even the main event, weirdly enough, because it should be. It's supposed to be a Block B main event. Really, it'd probably be Black Taurus and Samurai del Sol, but obviously Del Sol, which, again, Samurai del Sol. So, Samurai del Sol was actually supposed to win this whole thing at the beginning of this, and then when I saw his ratings, I was just like, yeah, he definitely ain't ready. So I changed it, and luckily I did, because he got hurt, but didn't really change a whole lot after that. So he might have finished like 2nd or 3rd, but he definitely wouldn't have been the winner. As far as probably the next best thing would probably be just doing Phoenix and Bushi as the main, which Phoenix does win. So that's a nice win for Phoenix. Because just Riley, Robbie Eagles, I don't trust it. Obviously, nothing's going to beat Karistiko and Pac. There's nothing that will beat it, and we'll give it 28 minutes. He's one step away from perfection. All that's in his way now is a man he's never faced before one-on-one, and a man who has skyrocketed up the fucking card in Daniel Makabe. Can the technical shooter, the United Empire member, stop Pac? Because right now, let's see what Ryu Lee does here against Robbie Eagles. So Ryu Lee and Robbie Eagles. It's going to come down to Robbie Eagles' loss, so it's going to come down to Ray Phoenix and Ryu Lee in this last night to see, is it going to be a Task Force Death versus Task Force Death finals? Or are we going to have a Mexa Blood member, Ryu Lee, a man who, again, wasn't even invited last year to take on Pac, a man, that's a Wrestle Kingdom rematch in this series, which would be pretty awesome. That's the man who beat Pac, or that's the man who Pac beat, rather, to start this reign of being the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Pretty awesome. As far as what else is on this card, it just goes downhill in a hurry. Man, that Makabe Silver match, I'm just kind of curious. So Makabe would have beat Silver. So that's interesting. Man, I just, maybe Rocky, Phantasma, I don't know. Rocky's going to beat Phantasma, though. Shelly's going to beat Despy. As, Francesco and Cinta de Ora. Francesco's actually going to beat Cinta de Ora, which I don't know about that. So I'm just kind of curious what... So Francesco somehow has normal morale. Cinta de Ora still have Chili? Yeah. Well, that's going to be tough to shake off, but we'll give him the win, just because Francesco has 2 points. Wild that that works, because he's had a year of booking. He's pretty much good to go as far as momentum goes. Cinta de Ora, on the other hand, not so much, which is just a damn shame, really. I feel like that should be the opener. Maybe Ishimori Volador Jr. should be the opener, though. I don't know, because really the match, Flyer and Kaiju Tamale will be the second match after that. We'll go with Taguchi and Yo, I guess. Taguchi's going to beat Yo. And then I don't know why I didn't add. That was weird. There we go. As Show and Moriarty. Lee Moriarty's gonna beat Show. That's pretty cool. See if he, yeah. I figured that was happening. He might come close to outperforming him. It might be like a point or two difference. Then Flyer and Kaji. Kaji D'Amato. So Flyer was actually supposed to beat him. As far as in the pre-booking page, I was just like, yeah, that ain't happening. Kaji D'Amato's beating him now. As Kaji D'Amato's going to have 10 points now. As Taiji Ishimori is going to beat Volador Jr. They're only going to go 12 minutes. So Volador Jr.'s final shot. It comes down to one last shot here. As yeah, we got to make that technical mass class too. And we need to steal the show match. I guess that can be Taguchi and Yo. I guess it could be Shelly and Despy, too. Shelly's going to get the win, obviously, there. And we're good to go on the show. Let's run day 10 here. Taiji Ishimori with the Bloody Cross in 1535. There we go. Ishimori getting into the 60s. It's a 38 for Flyer and Kaji D'Amato, as Kaji D'Amato with a red eye in 1324. Another 38. Lee Moriarty did outperform. They had good chemistry, though. As Lee Moriarty wins, 1351. 58 for Taguchi and Yo. Taguchi with a frog splash in 1010. 41 for Francesco and Cinta de Ora. Probably should have stuck with Cinta de Ora there, but that's alright. As Francesco wins with the Utaka in 1124. 55 for Shelly and Despy. Shelly with a 16. I feel like he's kind of went down, just holding back, inconsistency, trying to go all out stamina. Whole lot didn't go wrong, and plus it's the cold crowd. The 60 for Rocky and Phantasmo, so I guess this should have stole the show instead. Hell of a match, though, for Rocky and Phantasmo. That's good, because they've had an actual good match in the Best Super Juniors. 53 for Ryu Lee and Robbie Eagles. I cannot believe it went that far down. Huh. Yeah, just a cold crowd. I don't know if the crowd will ever get back, to be honest. Yeah, if they didn't come back for Caristico and Pac, which Caristico actually outperformed Pac. Wow. Unreal. But what a win for Pac, as he stays undefeated in the block. And he's just got Daniel Makabe left in a 50 main event. Whew. Wow, as Bushi and Phoenix with the great chemistry. The injury happens, and it just... cold crowd. We couldn't really get it back. Yeah, just, that ain't it. Drummer elbow. At least somehow, because it's a tour show, we don't get penalized too much, but... yeah. Yeah, that was not it. Not a great show, but, as far as going into the final day here, it looks a little bit like this, as far as the standings. I'm sure everyone's pretty much well aware what's going on with Pac. It's perfection or bust at this point. He's got Daniel Makabe left. Can the young technical wizard stop the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, be the first man to beat him, and not only that, stop him in his path for perfection. And then for Block B, I guess Block A, I mean, it's... you see, Makabe might finish second, or it's Shelly, depending on what happens there. Shelly's got Phantasmo, and Makabe obviously has Pac. They might tie. So that's another thing to consider. As Pac, he's the first man to ever get 20 points, too, in the Best Super Junior, so there is that, too. He's already made history, but can he make it 22 as well? And going to go on to the finals and even win the whole thing. Who knows? Because someone in Block, I mean, it's either going to be Phoenix and Ryu Lee and Phoenix. He's done everything in his power. He just faced Pac. He's had 3 different IWGP Junior title matches. Every time he's fallen short. Can this be it? Winning the Best Super Junior Finals, and then at Dominion, beating a stablemate. Or Ryu Lee. Can he beat his, a man who's teamed with in the past, as far as, well, not in the past, actually, as far as, I don't know why I was thinking, but, Ryu Lee, a man who is the only Mexa-Blood guy here, because Ray Horus, I didn't put him in, which is probably a mistake. So some Mexa-Blood guys always getting, as far as not getting the cut, and Flamita, he had just been injured so many times. It's just like, let's better not even risk it. Like, Ray Horse probably could have been in instead of Flyer, or even Volador Jr. at this point, probably done a lot better, but wanted to get some new blood in there at the same time. But was it worth it, though? At the end of the day, probably not. But yeah, I mean, Black Taurus, it's pretty much over as far as him getting a chance to win, but he could still finish strong with 18 and beat Robbie Eagles there. And as far as Ishimori with 13, it's crazy that he finished not even in the top 3 of his block. But that's the way she goes, though. I mean, a couple of big-time losses, a couple of upsets, losing to Bushi, losing to Taurus, losing to Eagles, and having the draw, too, with Ryu Lee. If he would have beat him, this is a whole other situation here, because Phoenix and, I mean, they would have came down to either a tiebreaker or just all in all, if Phoenix, or if even Ryu Lee would have choked here at the end, it'd be a Task Force Death versus Task Force Death finals. That's what it's looking like going into this final round-robin tournament show. I can't believe it. I'm sure this episode is going to be like 8 hours long, but if you made it this far, hopefully you've enjoyed this Best of Super Juniors. Definitely better than last year's Best of Super Juniors, but really, I mean, that's a given, I figured so going into this. I was like, we'll probably have a better one, but it honestly wasn't even at the level that I anticipated, which is kind of crazy. But at the same time, Hoovy is the mega champion. That's pretty hilarious. But even then, you expect so much high hopes for it, and it just wasn't enough as we signed Makabe to another deal, or renegotiated his deal. Wow. As, that drummer's elbow. And even then, maybe Phoenix may not even be able to compete. No, he will. He definitely will. And we're going right into it. Into day 11 here. And they got us at the Tokyo Dome. Well, I'm curious. I don't know if we should keep it or run somewhere smaller and then the Tokyo Dome. I think that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Just because I feel like it's a little too much to run the Tokyo Dome. Maybe Ryogoku and just run Sumo Hall. That seems pretty fair. Even Budokan. That kind of be cool. Yeah, let's run Budokan for this last show. Last tour show, at least. So, as we got the backstage incidents. Completely fucking forgot. As Milano, passing on psychology tips to Yano. Good stuff. So obviously we know the main matches here. Phoenix and Ishimori, Pac and Makabe, and Ryu Lee and Sendadeora. Those are the top 3. Because it's a Block A, and because he is on the path to perfection, Pac and Makabe is the main event, and he does it. Your winner of Block A, undefeated, swept everybody as the champion. Back. And I think this would kind of be a fun match to kind of have Makabe kind of try to stay on the outside or try to force like countouts, try to do anything in his power, even baiting Pac into using a weapon, just trying to maybe not psychologically get in his head, but something like that to where he can maybe fuck up a way for Pac to not go undefeated. But Pac does, and I think you could have a spot where they are buying for submissions, they're trying everything in their power. Pac just not even a finish, a roll-up finish. So we'll even go with a flash pinfall where he's just busting out everything he can to pull a fast one over, because he just wants this win so bad, because it means so much to him. And he gets it, and he gets it, rather, Jesus. Fucking terrible grammar there, as he gets that win, 22 points, undefeated. It's going to be a hard record to beat, that is for sure, unless we make a 16-person Best Super Junior or 14-person Best Super Junior. As then we'll probably do Ray Phoenix and Taiji Ishimori. That's probably the best bet, yeah. And Taiji Ishimori is the spoiler. So Ray Phoenix loses. What's gonna happen with Sendadeora and Ryu Lee? Ryu Lee wins. Your winner of Block B, Ryu Lee. Your finals is set. Pac and Ryu Lee, a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom. As far as now for the rest of the card, it's tough. Because really, Bushi Samurai Del Sol would be in the spot, and Samurai Del Sol would have beaten Bushi. So he would have had a hell of a run there at the end to really give a lot of people a run for their money. Sho and Volador Jr. Volador Jr. is beating Sho. He does not end undefeated. Or he does not end winless, rather. He gets his win, beating Volador Jr. And Rocky, Romero, and Yo beats Rocky. So, everybody from Roppongi 3K finishes with 10 points. It's kind of fun. We'll have that go on there as far as that goes. As Francesco Lee Moriarty would be a really good match. Be very different to what... That'd be like a fun like Bola setting. Or just anywhere in PWG, really. It doesn't have to be Bola. Yeah, we'll do Black Taurus and Robbie Eagles. As Robbie does beat Black Taurus. Tough loss for Black Taurus there. Man who's been so close, but yet so far away. Yeah, Shelly, Phantasmo. This should be a really good match, actually. Let's give this some time. Phantasmo's kind of earned it. You know, he hasn't really gotten a lot of wins. He's just kind of steadily stayed better. As, or stayed the same, rather. As, yeah, we'll have that go after Black Taurus and Eagles. Yeah, then Caristico Flyer can go below that. Caristico is going to have that steal the show because Caristico's fucking awesome. Francesco and Moriarty. Francesco's going to beat Lee Moriarty. Don't know how I feel about that. I kind of want to give Lee Moriarty a win, but then at the same time, Francesco could use some wins. Despy and Kaji Tamato. Kaji Tamato's going to get the win. And this will be Tactical Masterclass. Don't know how I feel about it, but hopefully we save it. As is Taguchi gonna lose to John Silver? He would have. That's a big one for John Silver that he misses out on. That's tough. As we just barely missed the 230 mark. That's fine though. As far as yeah, just Phoenix with that drummer's elbow. Sucks that that's gonna play into a factor of the co-main, but it's got to be that way, or it would ruin the surprise of everything. As we save and rerun our final tournament show. Sal Desperado and Kaji D'Amato get a 36 because, well, they're not over enough. So that sucks. 49 for Lee Moriarty and Akira Francesco. So yeah, Lee Moriarty with a 62. Just not there as far as the tour setting, but he's getting there, though. When you can do a 62 at least on the main show, so that's a great start, you know, as Francesco's up with a nice win over Lee Moriarty. So yeah, Caristico with an 82, Flyer with a 42. Too short for an important match of the eyes of the audience. Flyer's off his game, it didn't matter. He's going to get carried in that one. 42 for Sho and Volador Jr. I don't know why. Why we didn't have Caristico after all the Roppongi 3K shit. 65, though, for Rocky and Yo, as Yo beats Rocky. Awesome win for Yo. Big upset as Black Taurus and Robbie Eagles. Close, 56-54, but Eagles gets the win. Probably should have been Black Taurus, but that's alright. 74 for El Phantasmo and Alex Shelley. Great little match here with them having great chemistry. Bumps up to a 74. Shelley with the underarm snap STO in 23-21. Great showing for Alex Shelley. Just was stuck with the beast that is Pac there. 75 for Senda Deor and Ryu Lee. It's at 20-27. Got the crowd hotter too, thank Christ. See what happens in the co-main. With the injury, Taiji Shimori does outperform him, so it's the right decision. As Ryu Lee punches his ticket in to the finals. And he'll be joined by the undefeated Pac. As he gets the win after the just trading submissions. Ends up getting like a crucifix. And he gets the win. Pretty awesome. Very unique finish to have it where Pac desperately, you know, he wanted it so badly, you know, to be able to make it to that point, and he's done it. He swept it. He said he was going to do it, and he is he's a man of his word. The prophecy's been fulfilled. Now let's see what happens. It's as far as the finals go. I know we have, I think, 3 matches set as of right now. The 7th trial series for Heihachi Tamura, 7th match, the final match of the series, and it's against Hiroshi Tanahashi, so that's pretty awesome for Heihachi Tamura. Never Boy 6-man title matchup. Karistika with the Golden Dragons are going to take on Shelly, Cobb, and Honore, and Pac, and Ryu Lee in the finals. That's all I got. So we'll take a break. As far as it won't seem like it in the recording, but for me at least, take a break, regroup, get everything squared away, and then we'll be ready to run the last part of this episode. Which I can't believe it. We made it this far, but yeah, just unreal. Unreal to have a pretty successful Best of Super Junior show, at least to end out the tournament. So that was nice. A lot of crazy stuff happening. Like Ishimori, even though he didn't finish in the top 3, he still pulled out some good show performances, obviously. And really just Volador Jr. and Show should have been like after Tomato. And yeah, that's fine. We make it work. Everybody seems pretty pleased. So yeah, we'll go through the card and we'll make some graphics and then we'll run the show and that'll be it. But man, this has been quite the episode. I'm sure it's going to be very fucking long. Bless you all for making it this far. Alright, it is time for the Best of Super Junior, the 28th Best of Super Junior Finals. As the card, I want to make sure that, because yeah, okay, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that's off, but no, this is 28. As we will run down the card real quick. As I do want to say, the Never Openweight 6-man title matchup, I know I said before we cut away there that there was going to be Karistiko with the Golden Dragons. Obviously, that's not going to happen with Samurai Del Sol, but I figured everyone would know that already. But as far as this card here, the opener, and it is the final match of this man's trial series, the 7th match, Heihachi Tamura taking on the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Oh my, this would be just the perfect way to cap off your trial series, to take on somebody like Tanahashi. It's pretty awesome. And to open up the show, too, and to open up the Best Super Juniors. Funny enough, I thought about being on Dominion doing this, but Dominion's pretty packed. There's a lot of big shit happening on Dominion. So it was kind of hard to really, within the 8-match kind of format, so it was just like, well, we'll just do it here. And, it's still going to be a big-ass show. We're talking about a Tokyo Dome show, so that's, that's bigger than the fucking Dominion show's going to be. So, weirdly enough, I know that's kind of weird to do, but kind of what else you're going to do, at the same time. Because, there's, I think, 3 or 4 tour shows between this show and the Dominion show. So it's kind of, at first it'd been like, yeah, that'd be a great idea to kind of back-to-back have the same venue for the finals and for Dominion, but it just wouldn't made sense, so that's why we're going with that. So that is the opener, the 7th match trial series for Heihachi Tamura against Tanahashi. So for the rest of the card, tag match, a junior tag match, a bit of a lucha tag match, really, if we're being honest. That's Karistiko with Senda de Ora taking on Volador Jr. and Flyer. Let me tell you how fucked up the momentum system is in this game. Senda de Ora, a man who didn't finish all that well, but as a whole finished higher than Volador Jr., obviously, as he lost all but 1 fucking match and lost 10 of them in a row. His momentum, Volador Jr.'s, is warm. Senda de Ora's still chilly. Crazy how that works. It's just, he started off a neutral, too, which is, how do you gain momentum from losing a lot? I guess that just happens when you're taking on, higher talent, but even then, that shouldn't be, how's that even possible? It's at the same time of that, but a pretty fun match, though. Obviously, Karistiko's going to be carrying that one, but hopefully Senda de Ora can get the win there to get his momentum back on the right side. Look at a 6-man tag, a little junior 6-man tag of man who missed out on the Best Super Junior, Jonathan Gresham, and Daniel Makabe and Lee Moriarty of United Empire take on Roppongi 3K, Shoyo and Rocky, as the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles are on the line as the United Empire team of Zack Sabre Jr., Great Khan, Katsuya Kitamura, taking on the team, obviously the champions of Alex Shelley, Jeff Cobb, and Toinari, the Liberty United. As Alex Shelley coming off of a hell of a tour. Basically everybody else is fresh in this match but him. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage for the champions there. As another multi-man matchup. This time it's an 8-man matchup. As Dark Order versus LIJ. Evil Black Taurus with the Disciples of Darkness taking on Aromu, Bushi, Shingo, and Sonata. That's a lot of fun. A lot of good guys in that match. And that's, getting Bushi and Black Taurus. But it's weird seeing Bushi not capped like that. He's just kind of... Let's just fix that here if we can. There we go. As the next matchup, it's 6-man. Which the next two are 6-mans, which I kind of hate because obviously we have the title match, but also these are much better than the title matches. As Task Force Death of the tag champions of Shotaro Ashino and Joe Doring taking on, and Ray Phoenix, taking on the Chaos team of the Chaotic Pitbulls and Robbie Eagles. Obviously Phoenix and Eagles, Eagles beat Phoenix during the Best Super Junior, so that's why we're doing that. And plus Chaotic Pitbulls and the tag champs, obviously one of the longest running, tag champions as far as in this series goes. Obviously, anytime they could be involved with the tag champs, it's fun. And the co-main event, last 6-man of the night, obviously the main event of Dominion, Kota Ibushi and Kenta, a little build up to that, is Kenta, Jay White, and Ishimori against Ibushi and the Young Bucks. And in the main event, of course, and we get a nice little graphic with it, as the finals of the 28th Best Super Junior, the Block A winner of Pac taking on the Block B winner of Ryu Lee. A rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 15, which I kind of forget how that match was as far as ratings wise. We'll just hurry up and take a look real quick before we run the show. So I want to say it was like a 77 maybe, something like that. Yeah, there you go, nailed it. Well, I'm pretty sure it was that. Obviously, then once the Caristico match, then obviously the Shelley match, that's going to be impossible to catch up, but maybe not. Maybe they got a shot here. So they're going back to the Dome, and Pac seems to hit another level when they go to the Dome. So let's, because this episode's already long as hell, let's get this show on the road, as I love that obviously the logo's out of date as shit. Is it a waste to have Cablevision? Yeah, but, it's nice though. It's nice to have it around. So, obviously, a 51,000, we're going to have a sellout by, about 10,000. Oh, if only that National Stadium. We're getting closer and closer. When we get to about 60,000, that's when we're going to start doing it. As obviously the main event, Pac, Ryu Lee. How about that? He does it. He sweeps and he wins. So what does that mean for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion? Who's he going to challenge at Dominion? Well, after, he's got this trophy celebration, Task Force Death's out there with them. So we'll have everybody out there too. So yeah, we got Joe Doring's out there, Chino's out there, we got Phoenix is out there. Plus, if we can, I think Pentagon can still be at Angles. Yeah, they're all out there. But then out comes Nick Jackson. Nick Jackson gets in the ring and says, you've talked about how you've beaten everybody there is to beat in your junior division. And yeah, you've done it. Swept your block. Haven't been pinned once in a singles match here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They used to say that I was the most untapped potential star in this junior heavyweight division. But I never got that opportunity. Moving up to heavyweight, focusing with my tag team work with my brother. How about Dominion? I put my chips on the table. You want a challenger? Here's your challenge. Me and you at Dominion. Pac lasted off as this. Sure, I'll defend my belt one more time, but just know this, Nick Jackson. I'm going to run through you. Then afterwards, I'm going into this G1, still the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and going to be the first person to win the Best Super Junior and the G1 Climax. So some big words from Pac. We got, as far as kind of nobody else should be rated, really. They should be rated on their entertainment, but I'm not sure if they know Japanese, and I don't want the angle to get shit, even though it's just a post-show angle. As we'll take a look. Yeah, fluent for Pac. See if Nick Jackson, he's right above him, so perfect. Yep, alright. I figured so, but sometimes you just gotta be careful. As he said he said it. You know, the man said he was going to do exactly that. It's just it's pretty awesome. You know, talking about the guys, and he's just the people that he's faced. You know, he's faced Devin before. You know, the best Super Junior. He's seen the rise of those guys, and he wanted to be at that level, and he proved it in that best Super Junior. That is for sure. Co-main event as a Bullet Club Golden Elite. Nick Jackson's going to beat Taiji Ishimori. So a little kind of prelude there, where he beats Ishimori, and it's kind of like, oh shit, he might, just kind of like showing off that he can fly with the best of them. He's got the junior skills for sure to maybe take out Pac even. As now for I kind of forget the rest of the. That's right, it's Task Force Death and Chaos. This is the next match. And Ishii will be beating Joe Doring to lead into a tag title match at Dominion. The Kyak Pitbulls Task Force Death team of Shotaro Ashino and Joe Doring. Should be a pretty fun match there. And then the 8-man of Dark Order against LIJ. And Evil will be beating the Intercontinental Champions. The champions are not doing well tonight. As then that's going to lead to, obviously, Dominion. Evil versus Hiromu, former LIJ guy, taking on, as I was thinking about having an interference or something, maybe. Some type of shenanigans. Getting involved with against Hiromu to kind of stack the deck. Maybe, that's the thing, like, Brody's not on this show, so that was kind of the weird thing. Because Naito and Okada, they obviously have their match. I didn't want to throw Brody in there as well. Probably could have made it a 10-man tag. It would have been no big deal, but I think, that'd kind of be weird to have Brody out there, and also, maybe at ringside we'll have them both. It's just weird having, like, this finals and they're not even in the match, but they, get into it at ringside and stuff. Maybe, we'll stick with this. I think that's for the best. As Romu's pissed, makes sense. Because he's going to outperform Evil by like 30 points. But we got to make him at least a legitimate threat. Alright. Romu, I get it. So, never open weight 6-man of United Empire versus the Liberty United. As Zack Sabre Jr., double champs again. As Jeff Cobb goes for the Tour of the Islands. Zack sees it coming, counters with a Kimura as he's about to go into the Tour of the Islands. He just catches Jeff Cobb for the submission win. And his partners, Great-O-Khan and Katsuya Kitamura. And, basically I thought about, wow, Jeff Cobb is, what in the world? Jeff Cobb. It is Zack Sabre Jr. He's got more pop. He's better than you. Get your fucking head out of your ass. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Yeah, that's ridiculous. United Empire and Chaos. Big night for the United Empire as Gresham gets the win over Rocky Romero. I think about doing a post-show press conference with United Empire. Just, as far as Zack talking about people count him out just because he's a man that can lead people that maybe aren't ready for battles. People like Great-O-Khan, people like Corey Jarvis and Katsuya Kitamura. And just kind of saying that those guys, what he's helped elevate just from being around them, what Daya Makabe's been able to do, what Lee Moriarty's been able to do. He's been improving talent and has been shaping the United Empire into a strong and deadly force. And that's kind of the idea. He's like, I know going into this, I got two killers behind me in Great-O-Khan and Katsuya Kitamura. So, he's not afraid of Liberty United. He's not afraid of anybody stepping in the ring with United Empire. He knows that he's got his guys that are ready for war. Type of deal. Just a little idea. But it's not a huge deal. It's just a post. We're already, so far ahead in this goddamn episode. It's Caristico with Cinder de Ora, Apollo Jr. and Flyer. And they'll be back down to CMLL for these fuckers. At least not Caristico and Cinta de Oro, but definitely for Volador Jr. and Flyer. Though Flyer does pretty well on Strong, it's just, it ain't it cheap. Yeah, we gotta have Cinta de Oro beat. He could beat Flyer, I guess. Guess was no big deal. Wait, it wasn't letting me delete it. That's okay. We got it figured out. We do need to steal the show, I think, so we should probably have it be this, to be fair. And then, for our opener, Hiroshi Tanahashi, out of Tamura, technical masterclass. Tanahashi's gonna win, and, yeah, but he's gonna go 19 minutes, though, with Tanahashi, which I felt like that's pretty cool to have him be elevated like that. I still can't believe he's pissed about that. Roma's pissed. Phoenix is still working hurt. Robert King's being used too much. Interesting. Yeah, he's working this show. Yeah, we'll have Daichi. Make sure. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be Red Shoes. I was also thinking about a post-show press conference with Tanahashi too, just kind of praising Adam Zamora, just being like, "There's not a whole lot of young lions I've seen that are better than him." You know, he pushed him to the test, and well, I guess put him to the test and really pushed his limits, and that he's going to be a very, very dangerous man in this in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's for sure. When he gets back from excursion, he even kind of alludes that it's like he's so good he probably doesn't even need excursion. He's ready to go right now. He's and that's some strong words, you know, from Tanahashi type of deals. We'll have a couple of pre-show matches too while we're here, because we got a lot of fucking guys that haven't been used. You know, Dragon Masters, they've done pretty well. We were kind of booking them on Strong for a little bit. Leon and Fujinami's doing like 50s on Strong too, which is pretty awesome for a guy who's, I don't even think, yeah, he doesn't even have like any pop in America, and he's still doing that. Yeah, you know, Kanemaru and Taichi against against the Dragon Masters. It's not a terrible idea. As Fujinami can beat Taichi, sadly. Nice. Oh, Taichi's pissed. Never mind. Let's see if Kanemaru's a little bit more on the receiving end here. Yeah, they're both pissed. Well, Taichi, just gonna have to suck it up. We'll keep him strong, though. Maybe that'll... There we go. Because it's a pre-show match at the end of the day. Let's see, another tag, maybe... I guess... It's tough, because I don't want to be a singles match at the same time. Let's make it a Young Lion tag. It's Connors and Coughlin. Could do the Strong Style Riders, I guess. Homicide and Kingston. Because I don't... Yeah, we've never done this before, weirdly enough. Should do this one strong. Is Kingston gonna get the win? Good stuff. Is he still used too much? Or is kind of Gresham a little used too much? Alright. But yeah. We are good to go. Let's run the show. 54 for the first of the two pre-show matches. As Kingston with a backdrop driver. 10:45. Kingston with a 58. That makes sense. Alex Coughlin, though, almost in the 50s. Obviously with the chemistry boost. But even then, they both did better than Homicide. It was off his game. 52 for Suzuki-gun and Dragon Masters. Leon and Fujinami with 61, thanks to the chemistry boost. Wada was off his game. Fujinami being the man. The double Nurk suplex. It's an 80. And they have great chemistry. That's fucking incredible. Should have gave it more time. I was thinking, I was like, man, did we give it like 20, 25 minutes? No, that was... Should have. That's crazy, though. Hell yeah. That's pretty sick. Good luck topping that. As Caristico with Cinta de Oro beating Volador Jr. and Flyers. Flyer taps out the Incognito Special. 13:25. Yeah, 84 for Caristico. 55% of the Oro. 51 for Volador Jr. 51 for Flyer. 70 for the United Empire Chaos 6-man. As Gresham bends Rocky with a spike driver. Next up there is Yeah, Makabe, best guy in the match, followed by Rocky, then Gresham, then Moriarty, and Show and Yo, 53-55. 71 for the Never Always six-man title matchup, as we got new champions in Zack Sabre Jr. United Rage, as Zack pins Cobb, the European Clutch. Like, yeah, he did a 59. It's not like you had Kitamura beat him, or even Great O'Khan, but no, fucking Zack Sabre Jr. So I mean, Shelly with an 80, that was pretty awesome. Some good stuff. 76 for Dark Order, and L.I.J. as Evil pins the Intercontinental Champion with Everything is Evil, 2007. Romo with a 93. Yeah, Evil with a 66. Hiromu was the fucking man. 79 for Shingo, 72 for Sonata, 65 for Bushi, 60 for Calvin Tankman. Oh, look at Black Taurus, someone in the 60s. Well, that was the worst guy in the match. That's a shame, but I mean, 56 isn't bad. Someone's got to be the worst guy. 82, there we go. It did outperform the opener there. So even with Phoenix's injury, which he still outperforms Eagles and Goto, Ishii pins Joe Doring with a vertical drop brainbuster. He outperforms Joe Doring, but obviously Shotaro Ashino's a fucking savage and a half. Getting the win does Chaos there. Nice way to bounce back after the Chaos six-man team earlier lost to the junior team of the United Empire. It's an 83 for the Bullet Club Golden Elite six-man as Nick Jackson with a 450 on Taiji Shimoi. Ibushi with a 95, 80 for Nick Jackson, 89 for Kenta, 72s for Ishimori and Jay White, 68 for Matt Jackson there. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So, hell yeah. What a performance. As we'll see what happens in the main. It doesn't hit that mark like I thought it would, but an 82 though nonetheless is still pretty good. Not sure if it's because we gave it 32 minutes. Let's take a look. It went too long. I had a feeling. I was like, maybe we should probably bump that down to like 28 or something. That's okay though. That's alright. Still a very good main event, and pretty solid, and the post-show angle did really well. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So yeah, we built a lot, just from this finals, as far as what's going on in Dominion, which that should be, obviously Dominion, second biggest show of the year. You try to make it a big deal, but get some big time matches. Kenta, Kota Ibushi, Naito Okada, Kyak Pitbulls and Joe Doring and Ashino, Evil and Hiromu, Nick Jackson and Pac now, and also that's been building up on strong. Going to be a never open title match. Brody Lee, leader of the Dark Order, taking on Miro. Is the Redeemer met his match? Or, well, somehow the Redeemer keep this streak going, because he's beating a lot of big guys, and a lot of very, very good guys. Guys like Zack and Tanahashi. Gonna add another one to the list. Also, there's going to be some other card stuff as well, and some big things happening on this show. I will say that. This is going to be I don't want to, hype it up too much, but this is going to be a pretty historic show. There's going to be a lot going on. A lot going on for sure. And a lot of angles happening. Just, it's a show you do not want to miss. I know that much. As, put over Pac. We probably should put over definitely Hiromu for what, And, trying to think who else. Who kind of was a little upset by something that we could fix, maybe. Not really nobody in particular. I guess we could hype up Ishii just because Tomohiro Ishii's the man. Box, please, perfect. Alright, so thank you all for watching, as I can't believe it. We booked an entire tour and we didn't lose any pop. What a shock. Definitely night and day difference from the first year to the second year, but still there was some sloppy moments. But I think all in all, increasing the participants, it was certainly a choice, but I felt like there was just so many talented guys, and there's still some talented guys that did not make that list as far as who could have been in that Best Super Junior. But I felt like we had a pretty good crop of guys in New Japan. Looks like we're getting bigger. Did we finally get back up to big? I think we did. Hell yeah! As Jeff Cobbs Morales, that's so fucking funny. As thank you all, and this is going to be a great start. Having a big size company like this now, booking Dominion going forward. Way to put over Ryu Lee. Kota Ibushi. As, yeah, now the road to Dominion, which is right there. As, I think it's only, yeah, it's only four-show tour, which is going to be a nice change of pace. I was at 8 million. That's awesome. As, hopefully we keep the money train rolling. As we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.